Hell yeah.
There we go. All right.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to
Hi.
Dur,
Yay.
the Dungeons and the Dragons. Um, so last session, you guys at the top of the session dealt with some deep-seated mental health issues.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly.
You guys had a nice little talk circle and just worked some stuff out. Ren, is your camera not on?
Oh, sorry about that. One moment.
I can't see you. I can't see
One moment.
your shiny smiley face.
Everyone else can see shit. Hold on.
Um,
There we go.
there she is. Um, so you guys dealt with some,
Oops.
deep-seated mental health issues. Had a nice little talk circle, figured everything out for the most part. Were able to cure some of your party of their madness that they were suffering from a crazy shared dream that you had the night previously, as you were camped outside of this glade, this beautiful, picturesque glade. After dealing with that, you swam to the bottom of the lake to find the entrance to a temple where inside you guys just kind of like, without even having to try very hard, just ran right through all of my riddles like in like 5 seconds. Uh,
I don't know. One of them stumped us for a little bit. A little bit.
did it
Longer
though?
than the others.
It did. It did. It did. Because none of us were speaking for
True.
a good hot minute.
But yeah, you guys flew right through that and met and then went into the final chamber with Ulru, the protector of knowledge, an ancient gold dragon with whom you did combat to prove yourself in his final test of will, wit, and strength. Um, and upon proving yourselves, he gifted you the knowledge of several different vestiges that are out there in and around Exandria and on other planes of existence that you might be able to seek out to help you with the coming dangers that the Iron Authority and their new pet Tarask might inflict upon Taldore, nay, the world. And as we left off, you guys had exited, and Ulru bamfed you back onto the beach of the glade, where your little adventure around the glade pools began. Um, some of you a little worse for wear. A lot of you kind of healed up as Ulru felt bad and spent some healing on all of you guys. Um, but yeah, that is where we will pick things back up. Before we jump right back in, don't feel too bad if you guys didn't get all, take super great notes of all the info that I dumped on you at the end of
There was
last session.
so much of an info dump.
Yes. If you would like me to reread some of them and reshare that information, I'm happy to do so.
Could you reread the Platinum Dragon one? The shield? Because I
The
forgot where he said it
honors
was.
last stand.
Yes,
He
please.
said, this massive silvered shield bearing the crest of the Platinum Dragon never tarnishes, and the metal is warm to the touch. Gifted by Bahamut to one of his champions in the Calamity that fell during a battle with Tiamat, it now resides on the Visa Isle, in the deepest sanctum of the Voskyrus. It was last seen by the half-orc professor of archaeology and spirit speaker, Jorlund Vor, a member of the Relic Seekers Guild.
Okay. So it's on
Visa Isle.
Visa Isle. So it's on Lakai's home turf. I hope I see Lakai in this game. That would warm my heart if we find Lakai.
Hey, brother.
Hey, brother.
I think I've got them all listed. We've got the Infiltrator's Key, which is in Kaimal with a Dwarf Master Thief.
Mhm.
We've got the Pyre Mall, which is in the deserts of Marquette with Knight or an Oathbreaker Paladin.
Mm-hmm.
Got the Kiss of the Changebringer, who is last seen with a Reformed Thief
In Stillben.
in Stillben. I've got Honor's Last Stand, which we just talked about. Belt of Storm's Champion, which was taken to the Mazes of the Abyss and is being worn along with the corpse of its last wearer around a Baylor.
Yes.
What's
Uh,
Baylor's
Baylor,
name?
the Baylor general.
Guys,
to
that
a
doesn't
demon
sound hard.
prince. The general Ogroth. Ogroth.
That doesn't sound hard at all, guys. We got that.
We've got the Hunter's Mantle, which belonged to a Monster Slayer's guild member in Vasselheim. It is in the lair of his last quarry that he never returned from. Got the
Mhm.
Lunar Shroud, which resides with an archfey known as the Keeper of the Moontides, which was first seen by a spy of the Arcana Pansophical, who disappeared after their first report.
Mhm.
And I believe we've also got a Stick of Tarask Slaying, which happens to be laying at my feet.
Yeah, just right there. It's right there.
Yeah.
Just
That was
right over
easy.
there on the ground.
It's called Renata.
the whole time.
No. It's with Tharn, guys. We gotta find Tharn.
Yes,
Tharn has the
Tharn
stick.
and his stick. Yes.
Stick. Fuck. Thorn has had a super epic vestige this entire time.
Didn't know it. Yep. The stick of the Wild Mother.
You're supposed to go
Uh,
straight up Trask butt, way up the butt.
+3 to shoot, +2 to get out of here.
But yeah, if you wanted me to reread any of the more specific information from any of those, I would be happy to do so. If you would like to make more detailed notes
Or we can just look back at the VOD because we just got a lot of that stuff.
or that.
If I recall correctly, Bill, last session we had literally just finished a long rest under the protection of the unicorn. Or I hope so, because I've already
I
updated
think
my
that was the case.
sheet.
We just
I believe
started
you
one.
guys were sitting down to a long rest.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't taken it yet.
You were. Well, I mean, you guys were laying down to a long rest. As well. No, because you didn't see the unicorn again. No, you guys. We literally ended with you guys just being plopped on the shores of the glade pools.
Yeah.
So
Though you did say the unicorn would be looking over us again. You didn't say it was actually there. I just re-listened to it the end recently.
Well, that was like meta knowledge, not
Well,
character.
hopefully
Exactly.
it's safe because I already updated my character sheet. So
I have
He
yet
did
to do
ask.
mine,
He did
so-
ask.
I will
But-
protect us. Don't you worry, guys. I got almost all my spells still.
Yeah, it's okay.
But yeah,
I
we'll
can-
say
Yeah.
if you guys would like, we'll say if you guys don't have any conversations that you guys want to have had before going to sleep, we can say that you guys are waking up from a long rest yet again on the banks of this picturesque landscape.
I mean, Fike definitely has something he's got to get off his chest.
Mhm.
I think Nox and Vero, number one, need to apologize for being degenerate assholes to Rat Anya, very specifically.
Well, I mean, all right. Well, we'll say as you guys are kind of resetting up camp. Fike, you have something on your mind that you would like to share with the group?
And I'll kind of like tap Vero and Nox as I just go. I personally would like to apologize, and I would like to thank you for your patience in our hour of insanity. I was disgusted with myself, and I personally am very sorry about the way I've acted.
no apology needed, Fike. I was messed up too. We all have our baggage to deal with. You still came through in the pinch.
Yeah.
This is not the first time any of us have had to deal with that sort of mind game.
Nope.
And Fike's gonna kind of just turn to Knox, and he goes, "Did you mean that, Knox?"
Not really. More of just something I was thinking about, and I don't know, I felt like I had no more blocks, and I just felt like asking, so...
I mean, then I have an apology to make. In uh, Ren, I shouldn't have gone back, and you shouldn't have gone back for me, and that's what led to your death. And
Fike, stop.
no, please, just if it needs to be said, I have tried very hard to keep you all alive for a very long time, and I made a mistake. And you paid with your life, and I apologize.
She's just gonna kind of take a second and then walk up to Fike and just put both hands on his shoulders and just shake her head. Like, believe me when I say that in that sort of situation, if it had not been you, it may have been me. And I promise, I have never blamed you for that. Ever. And that is what should matter, correct? And she's looking over to Noxus. You did what you thought was right. And I can never blame you for that. That is who you are, Fike. And that is what I appreciate about you.
I would like consent to give you a hug.
Granted.
Consent?
Okay.
I mean, I kind of just, when you guys don't give me a direction, I kind of just do what I think is right. And Knox, not to make this weigh on you, but Jacob's blessing is the only reason I survived the fight in Terrace Fields, and I didn't tell you guys about it because I didn't want you to feel bad that I almost died out there, and I didn't want that to weigh on you because it didn't matter at the time because I lived. And we're found family, and that's stronger than anything that can divide us. Apparently, not even death can keep us apart.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, I'm kind of done now. I feel like I've made everything real awkward. So
I would not say so. I would call it making things uncomfortable for all of our benefits.
that's awkward. that's pretty much awkward.
That's still for benefit, and I believe that means that we should all be more honest with each other going forward.
You're too hard on yourself. Like any one of us, given the right opportunity, I think would sacrifice ourselves to make sure everybody else was safe. You just had an opportunity that I didn't.
I hope you guys wouldn't. Because you have people that are looking forward to seeing you at the end of all this, and I have you guys.
Well, we're not
Yeah, I
the
mean,
average band of friends here. Like we face things that most people wouldn't even see once in a lifetime. And we do that on a weekly basis, every Wednesday, in fact.
Wait, what's a Wednesday?
Every Durin's day.
And when you live the kind of life that we live, there are certain dangers that come with that. I think we all need to be realistic about that. We're not marching forward into the land of cakes and candy. We're heading to face a Tarrasque and whatever else. And if some of us don't make it through, the important thing is that we're victorious in the end, so the rest of the world is. And that would be no shame.
Okay.
Would be nice.
Does anyone else have any damage they want to express?
Not really in front of everyone. A little embarrassing.
I believe that my troubles are very old, and I have had time to get over them after a while.
Likewise.
But who's to say something new shall come along? But in that, we can only be honest, as I said, going forward.
We really should have had this conversation at like level like 6. Not this deep into our friendship. And if we're going from a friendship on a scale from 1 to 20, I would say that this should have been an earlier conversation where we're like, let's kind of keep an open and line of communication with each other. But yeah, I understand.
We aren't all a band of strange individuals, Spike. That is simply how it goes.
Yeah, I get stranger every day. Oh, this is just like a forethought. Biro, do you ever think of like, I know you can't do it today because you're all spent on spells, but like, we have like an army in the Underdark that kind of owe us a favor. You might want to send them like a, hey, big old Tarrasque coming. We kind of trained you for war. Come help us out.
Please and thank you.
I mean, certainly worth a try. I don't know that I'd hold out a whole lot of hope for an army of Drow to come help fight a Tarrasque.
Especially on the surface.
Yeah, but you know, we saved their queen, and she kind of owes us a favor.
Empress.
A little bit.
Empress.
She's not around. I can talk about her all I want.
Ren would say Empress just because she knows the difference.
Sanemo's disembodied voice says.
Oh fuck!
Where did you come from?
You're right, Fike. It's we're not in a position where we can afford to leave any stone unturned. I'll give it a shot.
I mean, you know, the motivator is like once the surface is taken over, you can only go down. So,
Why would they want to?
To be fair,
Tarrasque is once you have like scorched earth, you can only go down to rich soil.
the Tarrasque was also awakening from deep in that mine. So it's... Well, I suppose that is the next step. It was already buried. Why not return?
Yeah, like we should get, we got to get all our allies. We got to get that crazy moonshine guy from Turstfields, the gnome that was making the moonshine. Any NPC that we met that Bill came up with on the spot, we need to recruit them for this endeavor.
Oh, what was her name? Shoot, the guard captain.
That's old gnomes. that's a, you got to watch the VOD to get that.
Mm-hmm. Shit, I remember that shit.
All right. Well, I'm gonna finish setting up my tent, unless anybody has any more damage they want to express, and then.
I think we should get some rest, and then in the morning we should probably talk through everything we have left to do and
Agreed.
make a plan.
I guess while we're on the topic, you should let me do the dying next time.
Mm.
It'll be much quicker for everybody involved.
Pardon?
What? No, we don't want any of us to die.
That was what we
No,
said.
no. There's this. Vanya sits up from bandaging his horrible chest wound. There,
Gaping chest.
Jeez.
gaping hole where a dragon claw was a few minutes ago. Yes.
Yeah.
Potato. Priest explained it to me once. There's this whole nonsense about people's souls getting marked for battle. And apparently, I'm one of those, and it makes me easier to bring back to life. I don't know. Apparently, I get to go in the fast lane, and you don't need to spend thousands of gold on diamonds.
Fast
So let
lane?
me do the dying. If
So
anyone
wait,
has to die.
So you're saying we don't have to get 25,000 worth gold of diamond to bring you back? We just can bring you back?
Yeah.
For free.
I mean, you'll still have to find someone to cast a cleric bullshit to do it, but yeah.
Vanya, is all magic to you bullshit?
Yes. All of it.
Duly noted. Duly noted.
Literally all of it. You were talking about dying. I figured this was a good time to tell you all.
Alrighty. If there's no other conversations to be had, you
Besides Ren
all.
asking what a fast lane is.
It gets explained to you that on the Silvercut roadway, in the more higher traffic areas, there are secondary and third and tertiary lanes that are there for people who aren't like pulling carts that are just like on a single horse, so they can get fast. They can go faster around. It was installed back in the day for like message carriers before. Such powerful arcane spells as like sending and other things like that were more widely available.
That was an
That
impressive
was amazing.
amount of exposition to pull out like that.
Yes, and
Bill even created heaven. What do you know?
these are my party members, aka my HOV6.
Yeah.
Bill, there is something I would like to do. It's short.
Okay.
As everyone's setting up their tents, Noxus will kind of start to walk over towards Pike, and he'll like kind of look nervous, want to go up to say something while Fike's back is turned to him, and he'll like put his hand up to say his name, and then he'll just give up and turn around and walk away.
Oh, I know that big oaf was behind me, right? He's not stealthy at all.
He is not stealthy at all, but
Make a stealth check, make a perception check. Or, yeah.
was he smack his tail into this time?
Yeah, as he turns around, I just get I get like a tail tap right in the boot. I just go, yeah, Nox.
Oh, it's nothing. Never mind.
Is it because I'm setting up my own tent?
No. That has nothing to do
I mean,
with it.
I could bunk with you if you want. Safety in numbers, that kind of thing.
Yeah, why not? And he'll come over and help him with the tent.
That's it, Nox. Push those feelings down into the man place.
Oh, good.
Fuck.
Staying on character.
Yep. All right, you guys find yourself to a wonderfully restful sleep along the banks of the glade pools. No crazy shared dreams this night. Just wonderful It's strange. It's almost like your dreams are as horrific as they were the night previously. Your dreams are that lovely this evening. Almost like you all get to dream of your personal like happiest memories or happiest hopes and dreams of what you see in your future. Um, and you wake in the morning refreshed um, and ready to meet the challenge ahead of you. As you are all for the next 24 hours under the effects of a bless spell.
Hey!
Oh,
Nice!
let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Vanya turns back towards the island and mutters under his breath, "You're still a dick." But
But thank you.
yes, exactly.
Thanks,
But
Dick.
thank you.
That's
Thanks,
fair
Dick.
enough. Fair enough. Just doing my job, man.
I do not make the rules. I only work here.
Yeah.
I only work here.
I do not make policy for the prime deities. I only enforce said policy.
So, what are our next steps?
Well, I have a list here.
Do you list them? Do you list them though?
I do.
List them.
You guys all have, while you're eating breakfast, just the most terrible flashback
The Thorn.
of your worst Thorn listing moment as Hero begins to.
There are many
Wait,
types of
list?
venereal diseases.
Many types of vestiges.
One.
There are many types of tasks that we need to complete.
Bureau.
I
Please,
pray you
not
doth
this early.
not do that.
Not this early.
I've been up for 2 hours already. I'm ready for this. Hit me with your best list, dear man.
Papa. All right. Number one is we need to stop in Singorn and talk to the voice of memory. I suspect that we may be able to get some more research or information completed there about whatever else lies ahead of us. Maybe
Okay.
also hopefully find a tuning fork that will allow us to get to the Feywild to get the lunar shroud. We need to get the last key to Fike's chest in Kymel, and might as well find one of those vestiges while we're there. We need to stop by Noja's and pick up some of those scrolls he was working on for us and deal with Umara. We need to go to Hell and find Shango and make sure Basvir is taken care of. We need to deal with that pit fiend buddy of Vanya's.
Not sure we actually know that he's a pit fiend.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever
Yeah,
it is.
that's fair. Not you don't. I mean, he was just a big, like
Big
crazy,
devil.
Big fuck
red
off devil. Got it.
skinned, just big fuck off devil. Yeah.
Big fuck off devil. Yep. Then we also need to deal with fake Sabriel. Find the rest of the vestiges, and I think we also may want to fight a Tarask.
Yes.
Do
Yes, we
keep the
do.
dog?
Possibly.
The Jurassic thing for last.
I think that makes a lot of sense if we can.
Is there any like drop muffins off at grandma's, like a real starter, like something like the make your bed equivalent to like let's get this done? What would you say that would be?
Probably either Singorn or Noja's, although I don't think Noja's. It's only really been a few days since we saw Noja, right?
I mean, it's been the better part of a week, 4 or 5. Well, actually, it's been close to a week.
Okay. So Noja probably needs still a little more time, although I can check in with him. And probably the most peaceful thing other than that on the list is stopping in Singorn.
Well, do you have a sigil to get us to Singorn?
I don't have a sigil, but I've been there for a bit.
You, Bureau, as you are having this conversation, you guys watch as he kind of just stares blankly off into the distance as you receive some messages.
Mm.
Bureau. The first
Okay.
message you receive is from Tara, informing you that she and Elsa have left Singorn and are in Craghammer. She's pulling her. She's using her family connections to get a meeting of the 5 Craghammer houses to try and recruit them into, explain to them what's going on. So that is the message you get from Tara. If you would like to respond to it.
I'll say, how did things go in Singorn? Please let us know if there's anything we can do to help in Craghammer.
A little bit of time goes by, and you get a response. She says, things went as well as can be expected in Singorn. Lots of details for a sending message, but essentially they're not going to run away.
Okay. I'll share that with the group.
And as far as as far as Craghammer, we got it.
Cool.
You have bigger fish to fry.
We don't need you.
You also receive a message from Allura Vysurin.
Okay.
Hey.
She says, initial dives into the research have revealed much. If you have the opportunity to stop back in Amon, I have some information that I could share with you.
All right.
Who was that one?
That was Allura.
Got it. She wants to kill Fight because he took her shit.
Yep.
Boy.
She
Let's-
set an extremely detailed and overly complicated arcane trap. That involves
A
giving you
Rube
information-
Goldberg machine of death
Yeah.
for Pike.
Yes, that involves giving you information to help you along on your quest.
A door opens up. I fall directly into jail. Roll stats.
Directly into
Wow.
Tarask mouth.
Yeah, she just teleports you into the stomach of a Tarrasque.
I didn't know you had a
I'll
sigil for that.
I'll simply let her know we'll be there as soon as tasks allow.
She understands you're busy, and she responds, "I understand that you're busy, and whenever you can fit me into your schedule."
Cool.
You're right there, Bureau. You kind of zoned out on us.
Yeah. Got messages from Tara and Allura, and I share all that stuff.
Ah,
Oh, good.
well, that sounds like good news. Hopefully she's not mad at Fight, because it'd be pretty bad if we went there and she tried to kill him.
No, yeah, I was. If I may interject, if we may, possibly get all of her wealth back before going to see Alora, that would probably buy me a bit of time, not for her to kill me.
Oh,
Yeah.
she doesn't seem like the type to kill us before we fought a Tarrasque.
Mhm.
Very true, but still, power would death.
Wait, what's power word death?
It's the same look that your mother gives you when you swear at the dinner table.
Oh shit, that's not cool.
It just
That's not cool.
knocks.
You see an instant expression of terror in Nox's face.
Oh, yeah. Let's get her wealth back before we go see her. That's a good idea. That's a very good idea.
All right.
So first place is Singorn.
Probably, unless anybody has a better idea.
I mean, it's the easiest on the list at the moment.
Mm.
Like, we go to Singorn, we're not gonna instantly die or have to fight for our lives, right?
I mean-
Can someone Can someone in Singorn take us to the Abyss so we can fight this Baelor?
You want to go there now?
Absolutely.
I forgot who I was talking to.
I mean, somebody possibly could, but I don't know if anybody will.
Fair enough.
Maybe we can find a tuning fork there. I know, like, we've shot, got shot down everywhere else.
We just need to keep putting those positive vibes out there.
Let's be clear. The specific tuning forks you were asking for are in some of the most horrific places in all the multiverse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, why wouldn't they give them to us? It's like, yeah,
But this time we're asking. But this time we're
shockingly,
asking
people
for
don't just have those lying around.
Yeah, like, who makes tuning forks to go there?
Oh wait, you have.
If anything,
It's not a
they
matter
might-
of them giving
The
them
small
to us.
nuclear
Excuse me,
Like,
bomb.
who the
to
fuck
hell.
wants to go
To be-
there?
To be fair, they may have found one in Drimmelt, if anything, given what happened there.
Wait, where's Dremelt? Where is that again?
That's your house.
Oh, yeah.
That's your
Well,
backyard now,
Isn't
Noxus.
that where you're
Oh,
from?
Jamalt. I thought you said Drumalt. It's Jamalt with a J, not a D.
It's with a D.
Drimmelt.
Gosh damn it! I'm trying. What
We'll
was
get
that
you.
voice? What was that
We'll
voice?
get you schooled in geography soon enough.
Well, I can't go back, so yeah.
I think Tarask destroying the world takes precedent over banishment because we did a bad thing. And Fike puts up quotes like the whole time.
All right. Bureau, can you send my mom a message and tell her what's going on and see if we can come back for a hot second?
Sure. I will send to Knox's mom and
Whose name
let her
is?
allow
Haran.
me to check the NPC
Haran.
list.
Haran.
Haran, yes.
Ron.
I'd take all the time to curate that long list of NPCs with pictures for you guys. You might as
I
well
know,
be-
I would like to send a message to Bureau's mom. It just says, "How you doing?"
I started talking before I had the list open.
I'm
It's
just
Haran and
busting.
Dinar.
So what do you say in your message to Haran?
Lady Haran, extreme world-ending events are arising. Would there be any way to negotiate a temporary lift on Nox's banishment to deal with it?
You get a message back where she says, "I will look into it. Message me in 24 hours."
So as Bureau is saying these lines, I go, wait, tell her I love her. Tell her I love her.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you there.
That's all right.
She says she'll give it a shot, and I'll try messaging her in 24 hours.
That's better than a no.
It's true.
Wait, I can't. I totally just. You told her it was a Tarask, or you just said that there was some world-ending thing.
It's world
Yes.
ending.
Okay.
I didn't want
Well-
to assume she knew what a Tarask was.
Yeah, I think Renata is the only one in this world who knows what a Tarask is at the moment. Other than
Didn't we
the
just tell a
hobbies.
bunch of people who what a Tarask was, like, 2 days ago?
That and also there
Well,
aren't books about it still. We found some.
yeah. I mean more of like first-hand knowledge.
I not even I have first-hand knowledge, Noxus.
Well, it was more common for you guys than it is us. Like, I've never even heard of Tarask.
Common as in there is one, as far as I know.
Oh, damn, there's only one.
'Tis basically the pet of the Strife Emperor. Why must you need more?
Because he's an asshole.
That is accurate.
You are
He
not
is an
wrong,
asshole.
but hopefully there is
And,
only one. How about that?
Stop giving Bill
Amen.
ideas.
Amen.
What, are you telling me you don't want to fight 2 of them at once?
No, Vanya, no.
I'm happy to start with one and work my way up.
Kaiju. Get our own
Kaiju
draft.
battle.
Honestly, I would rather them just fight each other,
Yeah.
and I'd be happy with just that. Because then hopefully they both kill each other. We don't have to deal with them.
Like, I can't help but grin. Ren is just like pale, just listening to them talk about multiple Tarasques fighting
Well,
each other.
Instead of scaring ourselves shitless here, shall we move along?
To Stingorn.
I would like to resummon my mount because I feel bad.
Okay.
And I will
Panther back or
call
something?
over Valor, who is still a giant panther.
Who's just been sitting here waiting for you? Was sitting here waiting for you.
The bestest boy.
He
Is
comes
he
over
purring?
and purrs and lets you
Yeah.
scooch underneath his ears where he likes.
Oh, don't worry. I will make you a beautiful steed later.
Later.
Alrighty. You resummon Aura as she returns to you as a big old panther, similar to Valor at the moment.
Immediately apologizes for last time.
I'm so sorry.
They, are understanding. They didn't think you did it intentionally. They're like,
Was
who
not
knew what
expecting
was
that.
on the other side?
Exactly.
No one, could have.
Still feel bad.
Like, who could have guessed that?
Mm-hmm.
Probably lots of people, but you know what? It's fine. But anyway, you are casting Teleport Bureau
I am.
just to be, official.
For Singorn, ideally, like maybe just outside of Dad's house.
Okay. Roll a D. Hold on. Actually, let me just double check something here. I have to look it up every time because I'm a dummy.
I mean, it's not an easy table to remember.
Yeah.
I forgot every time Biro teleports us anywhere, he hasn't been like super long that we could just die instantly. I totally forgot about that.
Oh
Would
shit.
you say that you have an associated object with the place you're teleporting to?
Probably. I've
Anything of
probably got some
Elsa's.
kind
Like,
like I don't know, like a vest that I probably picked up there or something like that.
well, I meant the specific, like you're going to your dad's place and that maybe.
Yeah, I mean he's an ambassador, so I probably got like some symbol of the house.
All right, roll a D100. Yeah. Bureau casts the spell. The arcane magic grabs you and starts throwing you through space and time as all of you arrive in the city of Singorn.
Hey, didn't hurt anybody this time.
You're getting better.
Thank you for that.
Oh, good.
Welcome to Singorn.
Founded by the sorceress Yenlara in the wake of the Divergence, Singorn marked the first major point of elven civilization on Taldore, following its calamitous destruction. The remnants of the fallen court of Ulusa fled to the Feywild for a generation following the end of the Age of Arcanum, returning only when Yenlara found the realm safe to return. These 400 survivors built a new home, taking inspiration from their temporary home among the Fae, and formed the foundations of Singorn. Nearly a millennium later, Singorn stands as a proud, defiant cultural and economic center of elven society on the continent. The massive city is built against the western base of the Stormcrest Mountains and is all but impervious to external assault. Singorn is not only protected by 40-foot high walls of ivory covered jade, It is also surrounded by living trees of the verdant expanse and elf-made beacons of detection that keep constant vigil for intruders. Every entrance to the city is warded by a series of threshold crests, massive emblems of a crescent moon flanked by 2 trees over a deep cerulean stone. These enchanted stones act as an anchor to the Feywild where Singorn's founders once recovered, allowing the city itself to displace into the Fey realm as a final act of preservation. You arrive in a verdant section of the city, surrounded by beautiful green and gold and healthy looking nature, trees, plants, flowers, almost as if the environment was built uh, in a unified uh, 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 sharing of or built around nature, outside of a home that appears to be made and carved of marble, with what looks to be fine uh, birch doors that are trimmed with a some sort of silver metal.
So this is your dad's house?
Yeah.
Here, man. I hope this isn't offensive, but this is the most aggressively green place I've ever seen.
Ren's just taking a deep breath and enjoying like the enjoying the
Pretty
nature.
sure Thorn. I'm pretty sure Thorn would like it here.
I feel like he clashed with the people a bit.
Who doesn't he clash with?
Ren?
Good point.
A little awkwardly about that.
Mike is just
I
gonna take out his pipe and just go, yeah, fuck this.
I'll walk up and knock on the door.
Alrighty. As you walk up and knock on the door, you wait for a minute or two before it is opened. On the other side, you see an older, but still, rather youthful looking, as elves are tend to be, elven woman with their hair in kind of light loose braids that go around the temples and fall back with their long blonde hair straightened behind them, wearing a slim, trim gown with long billowed sleeves. You see a woman that you are very familiar with, Bureau. This is, oh, Jesus, one sec, sorry.
D&D Beyond, back to the NPC list.
You're
D&D
right.
Ha ha
D&D
ha ha
Beyond,
ha.
everyone.
This is your father's, like, second, the woman who looks after his house and helped look after you while you were growing up here. Um, this is Enra. As she kind of looks and says, and looks out at this, motley crew of strange visitors in an almost, entirely elven city. She kind of locks eyes with you, Bureau, and says, "Well, Master Bureau, you were never quite one for protocol, though I don't remember you ever bringing such a motley crew within inside the walls of Singorn before."
Well, hello, Enra. My friends and I were in the neighborhood and thought we'd teleport on by. Is Dad home?
He is not at home at the moment. You know him. He is buried in his work over in the memory ward.
Is it, Would it be convenient for me to visit him, or should we wait here? It's rather
Oh
important.
yes, Singorn is rather known for welcoming outsiders to walk in and amongst their city unaccompanied.
I recall the warmth that I always felt. Thanks for reminding me.
Ren looks a bit confused.
Vanya's chuckling a bit.
Fike is golf clapping.
May we wait inside then?
But of course, and she kind of steps to the side to let you in.
I lead everybody inside.
As we go by, Ren will just kind of like bow her head to her and bit, apologies for the intrusion, madam. In Elvish, that's probably a little bit archaic.
Yeah, she kind of looks at you and says, replying in Elven, and in almost like less of a thank you for your apology, and more of a yes, of course you should be apologizing kind of
Mm-hmm.
like response.
Par for the course. Yeah, she's known plenty of people like that.
So are you Bureau's mother, or
And
No, you've met my mother.
have
No,
I?
he hasn't. No, he hasn't.
I haven't.
I met your mother. I'm the only one who's met your mother.
Oh. Well, everybody's aware that my mother actually lives in Amon, right?
Yes.
Am I?
Vanya might not be.
well, you might not.
Okay.
Yeah, Vanya's not.
No, Vanya, my mother lives in Amon.
Ah, gotcha.
As you all kind of come in, it is a modest but well-appointed home. It looks like the home. There's many tomes and scrolls. Obviously, Enra keeps her the place tidy, so it's not like covered in dust. But it does look like the home of a researcher or a historian or something to that nature. But there's all sorts of tomes and scrolls and parchment out and about. With other little random, not quite matching trinkets that all seem to be of some sort of elven culture or make that are out and about. As she leads you into like a study or a sitting room, she says, "Can I retrieve any of you for you any refreshments?"
Yeah. Well, if you got wine, that'd be great.
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you.
Just water.
A glass of wine would be fine, thank you.
Very well. But perhaps it would be best for you to, if you have the capability. I understand, according to your father, you've advanced in your arcane practicing quite a bit. If you wished to send him a message, I'm sure he would come home post haste. As she
Mhm.
kind of turns around and heads into the what you know to be the kitchen area, Bureau.
I missed her. And then
I don't think she missed you.
Kind of
Yeah.
the stern housekeeper.
And yes, I will send to my father and say, "Hello, Father. My friends and I are in town. Stopped by the house. Wouldn't mind seeing you. We have rather urgent news. If you have the time to stop by."
You get a response that says, "Oh, you're home. I I should I can be home in rather short manner. I'm sure Enra is looking to your needs. I shall see you presently."
That'll be here soon.
Over the course of the next 30 or so minutes, Enra brings out a tray with waters and a glasses and a like a snifter of wine, fine Singornian vintage. Leaves it for you, kind of bows and leaves the room and allows you to kind of sit around.
Ren's just been
And
kind of
So-
observing stuff on the walls and things.
Fair warning.
Mhm.
Enra, as stiff as she may be, is probably an example of the kinder folks that you may come across as you meet here in Singorn. No point in taking it personally. We won't be here too long.
Why
Vera-
is it that every time we go to somebody's home, everybody there is terrible, except like 2 people?
The world is not as full of great people as you might hope.
Yeah, I know.
Biro, is that woman where you get your quick wit in cutting words? Because she.
She,
It might be where he sharpened that
A
skill.
little bit, a little bit.
Honing that edge a little bit.
she came in handy, friend.
Yeah, Enra, as you remember, Bureau was stern and rigid, but at the end of the day, cared for you, not just in the physical sense of like preparing meals for you and keeping the house tidy, but in her way, tried to as much as she could shield you from the um, bigotry and bullying of some of the other more outspoken elves here in
Yeah,
Sinquan.
she's actually a decent person in uh, disguise, or whatever the right phrase would be.
So,
Almost kind of being stiff with you to help you build up that sort of you know thicker skin. You know.
Right.
I don't mean to be the one to ask this, but I'm gonna ask it anyway, so don't take offense. Um, so did you live here, or did you live with your mom? How did that work?
I spent my younger years with my mother, and then came to spend some time here with my father, and then spent some time in Bardic College, and then spent some time stuck here while the city was hiding from Thordak and his ilk.
Oh, so you were in the Feywild. What's the Feywild like?
Weird.
You didn't really get to see much of it. You didn't leave the city when it was there.
Fair enough. I didn't get out much, Knox. It was hazardous enough to just walk around the streets here for one who isn't full-blooded.
A few more pixies, that's.
Wait, elves are racist against half elves?
Not as much as they are against other people, I think, but not the full class citizen you might hope.
It's less full on racism and more of a prejudice for for someone lives for 1,000 years, they view things from a very different perspective. Not to not to make excuses for them,
Sure.
or not for beer to make excuses for them, but it's more of that, like when you measure time in you're not an adult until you're 120. You can see things very differently from other more shorter lived races.
It's just how they are, Fake. They're not bad people in their way in general. They're just people with a very different perspective.
You also remember um, Bureau, specifically the elves of Singorn, um, from your history lessons. They're wary of outsiders. Uh, a lot of it has to do um, with being around uh, when Drassig was trying to conquer the continent, and his the human civilization. This is back when
Yeah.
King Drassig was the head of Amon, and it took a an alliance of the elves of Singorn and the other races to rise up against him and to defeat of him, and eventually also his son. So they have um, it's a little Lord of the Ringsian thing. Like they
Yeah.
think humans are more corruptible to power, and power being corrupting absolutely, and all that, because they're shorter lived and shorter sighted and things of that nature. So it's thousands of elves died having to deal with Drassic, and they have longer memories. Whereas, the memory of that can fade in a couple generations with humans. You know,
It was like yesterday for
those
the
those
elves.
those same elves were the ones that maybe fought in that conflict. There's still elves around here that probably fought in that conflict and lost
Yep.
friends and family. So,
I'll
anyway,
give that brief history lesson.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's in some ways the drawback of being almost immortal is you remember things that other people have moved on from.
How old is your dad?
Pretty old. I don't know. How old is he, Bill?
He's deep into his 7th century.
Yeah, he's about 700 plus, maybe almost 800.
How long do they live?
1,000
Really
years,
long
give or
time.
take. 1,000 years, give or take 100 years.
Wow,
Couple hundred years.
that's a long, long fucking time to be alive.
Vera, I mean no disrespect. And I'm just kind of looking around the room. Do you mind if I kind of like check the room real quick?
Sure.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
You cast Detect Magic?
Yes.
That's within 30 feet of you, right?
Yeah, I mean I'll do like it's up for 10 minutes, so I'll do a
All right.
perimeter check.
There are a couple things that ping your radar. A couple of the trinkets that are in the room give off faint magical essences. Nothing too crazy.
Do I know from what school or what they are? Or is it just like a
One of
general
them, yeah, one of them is, um, uh, excuse me, gives off a bit of a divination thing. You get the sense that it's some sort of communication device, like a sending stone. Um, One of them is a abjuration. One of them's around a tome. It's similar to a couple of tomes in here have an abjurative effect on them, similar to the notebook that you had gotten for Renata that like is can't be harmed by water
right?
or other things. Um, and one of them is a conjuration. Uh, it's some sort of what are those called? Like a wine snifter, like what are those things called?
A decanter.
Decanter. Thank you. Conjure. There's some conjuration magic on it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, your father seems very well to do. And
He
if that decanter is empty or is it full or is it
It looks full.
I'm just gonna give it a sniff. I'm gonna see what it is.
It smells like a very fruity, sort of like plum wine.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. If it's conjuration, it just refills.
Would you like to
Um,
pour some into your glass?
well, I will ask the master of the house, Biro, do you mind if I partake?
help yourself.
All right, thank you. Permission
You
granted.
fill your glass, and when you put the decanter back down, it doesn't look like any, like this. The level hasn't changed.
That must have been fun when you were like in your teenage years.
Yeah, it got me into some adventures and some hangovers.
At that, you hear as the doors open, and you watch as an older, silver-haired elven man with light gray eyes comes in with his hair pulled back into a long ponytail that ends around the small of his back, wearing sage's robes of green and silver. a deep forest green and silver, with embroidered onto the shoulder epaulets. Not quite epaulets, but there's some shoulder embroidery that, for those of you, it's not super hard, especially traveling around with Bureau, give off symbolism of the Archeart. As he comes in carrying arms full of tomes and rolled up scrolls and parchment, as he comes in and says, Bera, if I knew that you were coming, I would have been home and prepared to receive you. My apologies. I didn't know that you were going to be dropping by.
No problem, Father. Appreciate you coming by on short notice. It's good to see you.
Been far too long, my boy. These
May I
are
introduce my
friends of
friends?
yours. Yes, yes, of course.
Yes, of course. May I introduce Renata? And
Pleasure is mine. I am Adamar Berevin, Keeper Adamar Berevin.
A pleasure, sir. And in the archaic dialect Elvish.
And he reaches out to, like, he doesn't quite know your customs, but he tries to, like, shake your hand or do the
Yeah.
like he's kind of caught in between. He doesn't know. He's a little socially awkward, like not
That's
quite,
fair. Get it.
and this is Noxus, chosen of Bahamut.
And you see him kind of like, you can kind of like see his eyes go up, and you can kind of see his wheels turning, and he gives you like a draconian a salute, like greeting.
Oh, that's pretty cool, and I give it back to him.
And this is Father Fike.
Yes, a disciple of Serenray, the Everlight. Is a pleasure.
Pleasure.
Bows a bit.
I will bow as well. And then looked at Vero like, what the fuck? Like, this doesn't line up at all.
And this is Vanya, really big meatball.
I have a full name too. I am Vanya of Clan Galaganaki.
Yes, of the the Isles of I'm sorry, it's coming to me. Confounded.
Borurgan.
Yes, that's yes. I would have gotten there.
Okay, I don't expect most people to know where it is. I'm surprised you would recognize it.
I am a studier of sorts. I spend my days, keeping and studying various. Anyway, what is the occasion, Bureau, that brings you home?
Well, you, I believe that a dwarf named Terra, as well as Elsa, preceded me. You may have heard the news that they brought.
I'm sorry, I'm unfamiliar. I've been quite busy, as I'm sure you'll understand. In the memory ward, we have. It's actually quite an astounding discovery. We think we may have unearthed a separate familial line to the High Warden Terelda on her mother's sister's side of the family.
Quite fascinating.
Indeed.
I think.
I know it's very confused.
In your centuries of research, Father, have you heard of a Tarask?
Let's see. He has advantage because, like, this is his
Nerd!
thing. Like, if you haven't picked it up, huge nerd. Just like less of an ambassador to more of a cultural attaché.
He kind of didn't describe. He didn't describe his Coke bottle glasses or his suspenders, which is making me upset.
So Bureau is
doesn't
rebelling
either.
against authority by becoming a huge playboy.
Yeah. See, what you don't understand is that um, uh, Adamar is just like hung like a bear, to make up for his
Oh boy.
his awkwardness.
I
But
really need
no,
a drink now.
no. Well, he rolled a natural 18. So with his plus 15, that's pretty good. Um, oh, absolutely terrible entity, birthed by the Strife Emperor many aeons ago, before the calamity, for use in as a weapon in the Betrayal God's war against the Prime deities. Just an absolutely nightmarish, awful thing. Has been locked away, sealed away for centuries, and we're the better for it.
Well, I can tell you that from personal experience, I can tell you that you're underselling it. It
Well, I
is.
mean, it's not really worth causing nightmares. You know how Enra gets. No reason to go into detail for something that's been gone for centuries.
I think you misunderstood, Father. We just came from infiltrating the Iron Authority,
Oh,
and they woke it up.
rather dangerous. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
they woke it up.
Woke what up?
The Tarask.
That's impossible.
I don't think it is because we saw it.
That's impossible.
I'm afraid you tell the truth, sir.
There's a long pause.
Take your time.
What are your books gonna do now, bitch?
This
I-
this is terrible.
yes.
This is terrible.
The wardens must be informed immediately, and we must transport Singorn back to the Feywild.
Before you do that, my friends and I have committed to aid the rest of the world in fending this thing off to the best of our ability, and I was hoping you
I
may be
am
able
sorry,
to.
Bielo, but I cannot give my permission for this. It would mean your certain death.
I. That's very nice of you, Dad, but I wasn't asking your permission. I was asking your help. I was hoping you may be able to gain us an appointment or an audience with the voice of memory.
Um, I
Don't fucking say that out loud to your poor dad.
um I the voice of memory. Um, what exactly is it that you wish to converse with her about?
I was advised by uh, Arna Loro in Amon to seek her out, that she may have information or something that may be of use in understanding or combating this thing.
I understand, Bureau, that in other cultures you are considered a grown man, but as your father, I still uh, uh, feel responsible for your well-being.
This guy is adorable.
Right.
I appreciate that, Father. It's one of the things that makes it good to be back here.
You seem rather determined to go through with this.
Well, I am rather skilled, as are my friends, and
I don't doubt your skill, son. In this case, it would appear my knowledge of what you face is a curse rather than a blessing, for I know what it is you walk towards.
Well, then perhaps you can help educate us so that we can walk towards it with eyes open.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Let's see.
Hey!
Well, it would appear that the apple has fallen quite far from the tree. Look at how courageous my son is.
Very confused by that saying.
Hell yes, he is.
I will do all that I can to assist you,
You're a good man, Father.
what little it might be.
Hey, I mean, we barely know how to kill this thing, so any understanding is going to help us out a lot.
Well, that is
Yes.
your first mistake, my son. It cannot be killed.
Oh,
We learned something to
Bureau,
that effect.
Bureau, he's funny. He's funny.
No,
Like-
we knew that, Nox.
Or at least no one
Oh, we
knows
did know
how
that?
one would
Yeah.
kill it. But
Well,
we may not need to kill it to
Um,
defeat it, at least.
Excuse me. And you see he walks over to one of those tomes, Fike, that you had noticed with your detect magic earlier. The one that had the there was one of the tomes. They all had the abjuration magic on it. This one also had some transmutation magic on it. And you watch as he opens it up and dips a quill in an inkwell, scribbles something on it, kind of stands there and just stares at the page for a little bit, and uh, you kind of watch his eyes kind of darting back and forth as if he's reading something, and he looks back up and says, "The voice can uh, receive you in about an hour's time."
Thank you, Father.
Which I am grateful for, as it gives me some time to spend with my son and his compatriots.
That would be nice.
So, how might I help prepare you? As he kind of gestures for all of you to sit down, he, sits down himself across from you and is prepared to receive your questions.
Well, we any knowledge about the Tarask, of course, would be helpful. Also, we have been advised by heroes known as Vox Machina, as well as a gold dragon we recently met, that some items known as vestiges of divergence may be of aid, and any wisdom or guidance or knowledge you may have about them would
Uh,
also be welcome.
as far as the vestiges, little is known of them other than the fact that they exist. Those that have already been found, there has been little time to do any research with them, as they are often in use by the heroes you speak of. Um, I unfortunately don't believe I can assist you there. As far as the creature known as the Tarask, do you have any specific questions? I don't know what it is you already know.
We
Uh,
know that it's really big and it can't be killed,
Well,
and
that's
that
not entirely true.
mhm.
Legend
Okay.
says that it can be slain, but that is only a temporary state of being for it.
Yes. Yeah, Ren will pipe up and explain what she found in the Lyceum in Mon, but there perhaps was more information, but the copy of a book by Master Volo, I believe it was missing some information, or the page had been.
Yes, it's unfortunate the scribes of Amon do not regularly enough copy over their tomes, and often information can be lost to time. Um, But Master Volo, even though he was a human, was quite astute in his studies. Yes, Tarask's its physical body can be slain, but that is only a temporary status for it. It would actually, there's as it is invested with a portion, be it a small sliver, but a portion of the Strife Emperor's soul. Its physical body would be reconstituted within a day or so, on the same plane of existence as it were slain, but in a different geographic location.
Okay. So how do we kill or I guess trap the sliver?
That is unknown knowledge to me.
On the same plane of existence as it was destroyed?
Indeed.
Is there a way to seal away the Tarask itself?
Well, that is from the histories I've seen, how the creature was dealt with originally. Though that magic has long been lost to the ages. There was a particular spell of the ninth circle of arcane casting that was developed specifically for this task. Though the spell was lost sometime during the calamity shortly after the Tarask was trapped by it. It would appear that whoever has reawoken it learned of this magic and found a way to counter it.
Does that mean they may also be the only source of knowledge on the spell itself?
I don't know.
Hmm. Well, do you know anything of its abilities or dangers, tactics used to fight it?
Terrifying creature of just immense physical size that can bury entire cities in its wake, and has particularly devious protections from magics, not just defenses for itself, but can at times reflect spells that are cast on it back at those who try to cast at it, which is one of the reasons that made it so difficult to deal with in the first place. As uh, uh, you in the time that it was around, our greatest defense against such enormous beings was magic itself, and this creature seemed specifically designed to repel such sort of plans that were thrust against it.
Hmm. That's concerning
And
as
as it was of such physical size and 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 uh, destructive power, throwing armies at it was uh, not much more useful. It would swipe whole battalions and ranks away with just a single swing of its claws.
well, magic has become a bit of my specialty, and it sounds like that may be less effective than usual. Um, Vanya,
Well, that is
anything?
I believe the human term is catch 22 of the matter, as it was magic was the only thing that was able to trap it, it would appear.
So what I'm hearing is that you need somebody to get really big and hit it really hard so that it stops being such an asshole. Over and over and over again.
I
He's
mean,
just grinning widely.
it's an awfully rudimentary way of putting it. I can't imagine that would hurt.
Rudimentary is Master Vanya's specialty.
I can
Don't
see
be
that.
rude, Red.
Is it
Um,
not true?
True. It is true.
Forgive me. Just awkwardly.
I mean, there is an elegance to carving a man.
It's all about just hitting it as hard as you can.
Well,
I could do that.
it's the flaying that like has an art to it. Like when you carve someone and then they're together for a moment and then separate into two pieces after. That's the
Hmm.
part.
It
I'm
is.
gonna see if he's like, is he getting like bloodshot? I'm trying to like describe like very sinewy detail to try to see if like he gets flustered. Like, does he have any venturing
He
underneath
gets
his
a
belt?
little a little more paler than he already. He's already an elf, so he's already pretty pale. But he gets even a bit more pale.
Well, Dad, some of these tasks ahead of us to find these vestiges and deal with things in our path before we can face the Tarask we're going to require trips to other planes. I've recently learned a spell that can help get us there, but I need specific components attuned to those planes. Do you have any idea where I might be able to get such things?
Well, it would depend on the planes of existence that you intend to travel to.
The Feywild.
Well, I mean, I would like to think you've come to the right place for that, at least.
I'd hope so. Also, Hell and the Abyss.
Looking,
Yes, especially the abyss.
watching his face for that one.
He's just like, like this poor guy.
Yeah,
Like he's,
you're giving your
learning
dad
so
a
much
heart
about
attack,
yourself.
Piero.
Look, Dad, look.
um,
I sell cocaine. I just need you to be on board with me here.
he looks at you, Piero, and he says, I mean, those are the kind of things that people just kind of leave laying around, Piero.
Well, I understand, but the alternative is finding a way to bring those creatures or things to us. Do you know of any other sort of magic that might do such a thing?
I mean, you know that my specialty is not in the arcane, but in the studying of history
Of
and the
course.
keeping of lore. Hence my title. And my work with the voice of memory.
Is that information that the voice may be able to have access to and share?
She is the grand historian of Singorn.
Well then, um, just one more question, Dad, from me, and then anything from my friends, of course. How have you been?
You see his stern face kind of softens, and there's a smile there. And he looks you over and says, honestly, not bad. These last several decades, I've been burying myself in study. So not too different from the previous decades, but I often think of you and where you might be and what you might be doing, and
Well,
uh,
I've helped a lot of people, Dad. And in no small part thanks to the education and life you've helped to give me.
I did the best that I could. I hope it was enough.
Me too. But I thank you.
Well, it's not exactly a short walk to the memory ward. Should we get going?
Of course. Unless anybody else had any questions.
Oh, yes.
What does rudimentary mean?
No.
Simplistic.
I guess that could. I don't think you were trying to insult me.
Without
No.
exaggeration or complication.
Is that?
That is much more me.
Yes. That is certainly what I meant. Forgive me, Master Wanya.
That's all.
He kind of looks around at the rest of you to see if you have any other questions. Very well. Allow me to escort you. I apologize in advance if you get any shrewd looks.
It's I've given them some warning, Dad. It
Yes.
is what it is.
I
Seems
Shall
to
we?
happen everywhere we go. I'm used to it.
Alrighty. As he leads you out of the house and into the city, you travel through this ancient and beautiful architectural marvel that is Singorn. Eventually, you are led into the memory ward of the city, where your father spends the majority of his time, and where Oestra, the voice of memory, resides. As he explains to you, the memory ward is the mind of Singorn, and is contained within a ring of marble walls in Singorn's northeast reaches. A winding stair, the 1,000 steps, he explains to you, leads to its lofty gate. Standing in the center of its grand court is the mystical sequoia of remembrance, a 300-foot tall redwood within which are stored the lives and memories of every elf in Taldore. Wisps of violet light flit about the sequoia's ancient boughs, and those who look closely into their centers have been known to catch glimpses of eras past, troubles present, and things that yet may be. The great redwood and its spirits are watched and tended to by the dream weavers, elves who have dedicated their waking and sleeping lives to the protection of their heritage. This is what your father does, Bureau. Um, about 500 dream weavers and 5,000 scholars, merchants, and other elves call this district their home. The elves are a culture obsessed with tradition and the past. As such, the Dreamweavers are among the most well-respected factions within Singorn. Their leader, Oestra, the voice of memory, is likewise the most revered and socially powerful of the Wardens. Oestra rarely descends from her tower of moonlight in the south of the memory ward, but when she does, all of Singorn pays heed. Eventually, you are led through the memory ward district to this tower that Adamar has spoke of. As it would appear, Oestra is aware of your coming. Um, uh, Adamar leads you inside, up several flights of stairs into a large set of double doors that are probably 12 to 15 feet tall, that have this amazingly intricate and beautiful relief carved into it that shows that depicts visually a story of the elves coming back from the Feywild to the prime material plane to begin building Singorn in this place. Um, and your father turns to you, Bureau, and says, I shall be here waiting for you when you are done.
Oh, well, thank you, Father. You sure
Like
you
I
don't want
said,
to join us?
oh, Oestra sees who she wishes to see.
Of course.
Um, but again, any way that I can help, obviously, I'm more than happy to assist. I'm not much of a combatant, but what knowledge I have is yours.
Thank you, Father. I'm sure we'll be back shortly.
As he steps to the side, the doors open for all of you. as you step inside, you come in to what looks like the top of an observatory. There's an open section of the roof with an impossibly large telescope that is peering up towards the heavens, and desks full of research that look like they track the movements of the stars and moons, and celestial study. Inside, you are greeted by the voice of memory, High Elf Warden of Singorn Oestra, Grand Historian and beloved vocalist. Oestra is charged with the preservation of Singornian culture. It's said her song can control moonlight and bring light to the abyss.
I bow respectfully and gesture for everybody to do the same.
Yes,
Um,
immediately.
Yeah,
I
as
do.
you come in uh, silver shimmering scholar's robes, is an extremely looking old elf. For an elf to have some weather and wrinkle in their face just shows how ancient they must be. She's must be at least 1,000 years old. Her silver hair is tied up into a tight bun with intricate braids that kind of run through and around the central bun that sits atop her head, as she has long billowing sleeves, as she bows to greet all of you. And as she speaks, um, her voice has almost this sing-song quality to it, even when she is just even when she is just speaking. And she says, "I know why you have come.
Lady Oestra, voice of memory, thanks for honoring us with an audience.
This is a time where we must band together, much like we did centuries past when the continent was threatened by Warren Drassic and his offspring. How may I be of assistance?"
I was advised by Arnaloro and Amon that in light of the danger coming of the Tarask, we should visit you and see what wisdom or knowledge you may be able to share with us on the Tarask itself, how to deal with it, or any other information you see fit to be useful.
What information I have to share, I give freely, and it is yours. You need but ask.
Do you know of a way to stop this thing?
I know of a way to stop it, though I am not familiar with the process with which was used the first time this threat reared its head on this plane of existence.
What is that? The powerful spell my father mentioned seems to be lost.
Indeed, as I'm sure your father made aware to you, slaying this creature is only a temporary respite from its devastation. It must be magically sealed away in order to protect the future of Exandria.
Do you know of any knowledge or lore or history of where we might find knowledge of this spell or recreate it somehow?
I know only that it is a spell that was created to deal with the Trask specifically in the age of the Calamity. several arcane practitioners, both from the dwarven, elven, and humans, came together to put aside their differences and work together towards constructing this abjurative magic. The Yes, the spell comes from the school of abjuration.
Okay.
And the material components are quite expensive.
Do you know what they are?
They are. There are. The spell was known as imprisonment. There
Wasn't
would
there a cage thing when it got out that kind of deteriorized or whatever?
there were many different ways and prisons that the spell can be used to entrap a creature with. But once one of those techniques of the spell is used, it cannot be used on the same creature again.
Do you mean that this spell won't work on the Tarrasque again?
Not if you use the same technique as was used previously. Then we don't know if that was the first, second, or how many times the creature had to be imprisoned. Like I said, there were several different prisons that one could lock the creature into, but each prison can only be used once.
Is there a way to know what techniques have been used?
Only if you were the one to release the creature from its previous prison.
Oh, man.
This spell was created during the calamity?
Yes. When the creature was a threat.
I'm trying to remember because the time frame there, if Ren knew about it, then it was taken care of at least once before the calamity in a different way then.
Well done. Way to pick up on that.
Yeah!
Wait, say that again, Ren?
If the spell was created during the calamity, then it had to have been taken care of in some other way before then. I remember the stories.
As far as we know, it was created during the calamity. That is as far back as our histories go.
The components that are used in this spell
Are different for each technique.
Well, this is not my strong suit, so my brain hurts, and I am sorry that I can't help.
Well, we need access to the spell, and we need to know where to get it. Do you know where it was last seen?
I know not the last practitioner who was able to wield such magics.
Are there beyond this spell, we have been made aware of the existence of items known as the vestiges of divergence, and have been given some knowledge as to where to find them, or at least
She
the ones we
nods
know of.
in recognition of. You see a look of like when you of the word, like the title that you use of these items. She seems to recognize what you're talking about.
Okay. Um, is there any knowledge you can share with us about how to best make use of these items, or any other aid on how to obtain them you can share?
Any vestige is useful beyond measure.
That sounds like a fair assessment.
Are
So
there
get
specific?
all of them. Got it.
I'm happy to answer your questions, but you must be more specific so that I can recall the knowledge.
We have been made aware of the existence of 7 of
8, I
these
thought.
vestiges. 8? Am I
I thought it was
miscounting?
right. Oh.
I may be miscounting.
You're the one with the good notes for this.
Yeah, I thought there was.
You were
I thought
made
there was
aware of
7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
Okay.
One is known as the Infiltrator's Key.
You guys, you kind of watch as she, for a second, it starts tracing some arcane runes in the air, um, and her eyes flash with a verdant green glow, and she says, "It would appear to me you already carry one with you."
Wait, what?
Who
She
shot
looks
who with the
over.
one?
She looks over at Ren.
Ren, you have a vestige?
He's gonna just subconsciously reach and grab the hilts of the blades.
She nods.
Oh, those are fancy swords.
See. That's why they look different. Wait. So these things that we're gonna get, they're gonna look different every time? Wait. How does that work?
These artifacts can grow and develop along with you. The more powerful you become, the more powerful they can become.
Oh. See.
Just gonna kind of
Well-
like grip the handles a little bit tighter and just kind of like nod to herself.
But be forewarned, not all of these artifacts were created with good intention.
Does that mean they're cursed or can work against us in some way?
Potentially.
Do you know if I were to tell you the names of the ones we're aware of, would you know if they're such items?
I can't tell you. I don't know unless you ask.
Well, one is called the Infiltrator's Key.
I am unfamiliar with this artifact.
Okay. Another is known as the Pyre Mall.
I am unfamiliar with this artifact as well.
Another is known as the Kiss of the Changebringer.
Ah, yes. What is it you wish to know about it? I do not have extensive knowledge on any of these artifacts, as they have been lost to time, most of them, but I will share with you what I can. I
Any
know not
knowledge?
of their capabilities.
Do you know if
I
it's
know of some of their origin and creation.
that may be at least an indicator to us as to whether it's something to be wary of?
The Kiss of the Changebringer was created by Avandra, the Changebringer.
she probably would make something to curse us.
I doubt it.
I would certainly hope not.
It was brought into existence to ensure that who wore it was able to break the chains of any free folk and ensure that enslavement was not the fate of any around the bearer.
I like that one a lot. We
Yeah,
should
maybe
get
I'd
that
get
one.
along with Avendra.
That is certainly the opposite of the Strife Emperor.
Big difference.
It was the Changebringer who defeated the Strife Emperor in the Calamity.
Maybe we should
Immediately
get this
looking
one
to
then.
Vero at that and giving a nod.
That sounds like a good one to have. The next one we know of is called Honor's Last Stand.
Ah, yes, also known as Bahamut's Bulwark.
Bulwark.
That sounds like it's up your alley, Nox.
For one
Fike's gonna chuckle.
of a
Oh.
selfless nature that seeks to protect others before themselves.
Ah, I see. Yeah, I would say we should get that one.
Another is known as the Belt of the Storm's Champion.
Ah, yes. A boon from Cord himself. It was crafted with the scales of a blue, red, and white dragon. The same dragons that Cord constructed his gauntlets, boots, and girdle with. You understand, eons ago, when the gods still walked the prime material plane with their creations, Cord often sought out new challenges, and so hunted down both an ancient red, white, and blue dragon to face them in single combat. After victory, he skinned the creatures using their hides to create a set of gauntlets, boots, and battle girdle for himself.
I'm guessing the calamity happened before you could get green and black too, right?
Uh, we know not why those two scale colors were not a part of his collection. Perhaps he was distracted and on to other challenges after
Huh.
defeating. I wouldn't be able to speak from experience, but I imagine after defeating 3 ancient dragons, you might get bored with it after a while.
That's
That's a good
probably
point.
it.
Well, there's 2 more that we're aware of. One is called the Hunter's Mantle.
Ah, yes. A set of armor that was last worn by a member of the Slayer's Take, a monster hunters guild in Vasselheim.
Slayer's Take.
Is this the first time we're hearing of Slayer's Take? Like, have we ever
Yep.
heard of it before?
Nope.
Then that sounds like a place that we can start making inquiries of.
So
Certainly.
Vasselheim. We've been
And
to
then-
Vasselheim.
That is a name I remember.
Sounds like that's in our future.
Vasselheim was around when you were around, Ren.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the
why I'm saying
only-
that she's like.
the
That's
only
why.
city that you were.
Yeah,
name
that's
you
why it's literally. It
recognized.
was like, ah, name I finally remember.
A name I finally remember.
The Dawn City.
The last one we're aware of is known as the Lunar Shroud.
As you say that, you see her face kind of sink for a second,
Ooh.
and show a hint of worry.
Hmm.
Something we should be concerned about.
Um, the Luna Shroud was crafted and created and a gift from the Moonweaver.
Why the long face? Think about that.
The Moonweaver is, as all the prime deities, to be respected um, and praised, though she does enjoy giving with one hand and taking with another. She is fickle with her boons, and the Moonweaver sends her will as the goddess of moonlight and the autumn season, as well as a patron of illusions and misdirection. Widely worshipped within halfling and elven culture, she is largely considered to be the deity of love, protecting the trysts of lovers with shadows of her own making. Those who work in darkness and trickery often ask for her blessing. Her depictions are as numerous as the myths and stories of her, with meddling within simple unions. However, she is most often painted as a young girl with light blue skin and white hair. Her body and limbs, but wavy silk strands of silver moonlight that caress and create the edges of the shadows. The Moonweaver has no holy day, but is celebrated by the elves people on the night of the decade's largest full moon. We here in the memory ward, the astronomers here track the moon's phases and how it grows closer and farther to Exandria, and can predict these days with great accuracy. But many high and haughty elves use the festival as an excuse to be sly and mischievous. Some younger elves use costumes and illusions to prank their peers in uh, reverence to the Moonweaver. Her deity, her commandments, to give you an insight into her persona. Seize your own destiny by pursuing your passions. Let the shadows protect you from the burning light of the fanatical good and the absolute darkness of evil. And walk unbridled and untethered, finding and forging new memories and experiences. One wearing her vestige could find themselves predisposed to reckless decisions.
Uh,
Yeah, we don't have enough of that as it is already.
Oh, Fike has like a shit eating smirk
yeah.
and it's going.
Ren was just like, yeah,
Sam?
just immediately what Noxus said. I'm just glancing down and I cannot disagree.
So, not necessarily a curse, but an influence of a mischievous nature.
An exaggeration perhaps we doth not need at the moment.
That, and I don't know where it currently resides, but. Or with
Well,
whom.
we've been told that that one can be likely found in the Feywild. Would you be able to
Oh,
help us get there?
you need to travel to the Feywild.
Doth we really wisheth to go after it? Given what we know now. At least not
That
first.
decision can only be made by you, but I will not deny you the choice. As you watch as she reaches into one of her billowing sleeves and pulls out what looks to be an emerald tuning fork,
Ooh.
and she holds it out towards you.
I take it with reverence.
Question for the DM.
Yes.
Me and Biro being half elves, so we kind of know about like Feywild fuckery real quick?
Define Feywild
Because-
fuckery.
Oh god, we're all
Time
gonna
is-
die.
Time distortion.
No.
Okay.
Are there?
Well, wouldn't Bureau because he was there?
But I didn't go out the city.
He didn't really leave the city. Like I said, he was only there for a brief time. What you remember was the only time stuff that you remember from it is that it always seemed to be dusk, and there was no real like day-night cycle. So it was hard to keep track of how long you were there, and hard to keep track of how much time passed when you came back.
Is there any knowledge that can be shared of how we may navigate the Feywild or any unique dangers we should be prepared for?
The Feywild is a place of extremes. It is a mirrored plane of existence to this one, and can be a place where you experience your truest heart's desire or your deepest, darkest nightmares. It is a place where, let's just put it this way, it is a place where the Moonweaver would find herself right at home. Many of the creatures there are mischievous, in many different senses of the word. Some good-heartedly and on all harmless fun, and others in a rather sinister way, and everywhere in between. But it is a place of unbridled nature and beauty.
It's like a nice place to visit.
Indeed.
Yeah, for a few days, and then probably get sick of it.
The knowledge we've been given regarding the location of the other vestiges, as well as other tasks ahead of us, may require us to may require us to visit the hells or the abyss. Do you know of a way to get there?
At this point, she's just keeping an eye on everyone's reaction, no matter when Bureau says that, just for the reactions.
You'll excuse me if I do not keep instruments on me that would grant someone access to the nine hells or the abyss. You understand that doorways work in two directions.
I understand. I don't ask this lightly, but if you have at least advice to tell us where we may obtain such things, or if there's a safer way to bring our quarry to us, we're all ears.
Entities of these planes would carry similar instruments, and she nods towards the tuning fork in order to allow themselves to return to their home plane of existence.
Okay.
So we need to find a demon or a devil so we can go there. Got it.
Well, we know of at least one that travels here.
Who? Vazmir?
But I suppose Shango took care of him. And Keyleth.
So
We can only hope so. I mean, we gotta go find him.
Mm.
Make sure he's not dead.
At least on our plane.
thank you, Lady Oestra. We don't want to take too much more of your time, but is there any decision or knowledge you may share about Singorn's intentions in the face of this creature?
The wardens and I, excuse me, the wardens and I have discussed the matter since your compatriots brought the information to our attention. and we intend to assist the rest of Taldori in any way we can. I understand in our communications with the Council of Mon that nearly all of Fort Daxio has been emptied, and they march toward the Emerald Outpost to relieve our regiments there, who then will in turn march to Singorn, as we believe any incursion by the Iron Authority would have Singorn as their first target.
Does your intelligence indicate how much time we may have before such an incursion?
Unfortunately, no. The abjurative and preventative divination magics of the Iron Authority are quite meddlesome, quite vexing.
Mhm.
I understand that. Well
Is-
then,
Though I imagine it would not be too hard to spot a Tarask on the march, or the march of hundreds of thousands of hobgoblin troops,
that seems likely.
especially when they emerge from the jungles.
Mhm.
The only question I have left, unless my friends here also have other questions, is especially given that Singorn may be on the front of this incursion, would it be possible to entrust me with a sigil to a teleportation circle here, so we may rush to aid as needed?
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Yeah.
Come on, Viera. Yeah.
Hey.
I will make it available to you, yes.
Nice.
Thank
You're doing so
you.
well with persuasion today.
It's
Everything's
because I'm
coming
not
up, Vero.
mind fucked by Umara anymore.
It's true.
I love it
Uh,
when the game adds to the narrative.
Does anybody else have any other questions?
Oh,
She has like history, or is she like a divin? She tell? Can she like palm read? What if we have questions about like, the meaning of life and stuff like that? Is she like that kind of
Well,
person?
while you think about it, I'm going to take a quick pee-pee break.
Okay. Yes, Ghosty, the Tarask does indeed have legendary resistances. Also, hi
Yes.
everybody. Sorry I couldn't normally talk while we're in the middle of a game, but thank you again for that raid, Dr. Ram. And it's good to see you
Hello,
all.
everyone.
It's nice to
Thanks for-
have people chatting and talking. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here.
Mm-hmm.
We're
This
gonna
is
die.
this is some crazy
We're
shit.
gonna die.
Some crazy fucking
we're
shit.
not gonna die.
Oh,
God,
by the
You're
way,
not
say that
gonna
every
die.
second.
By the way, guys. By the way, D&D Beyond, everyone.
D&D
It's
Beyond.
a great tool. We're
Wonderful
not
tool.
sponsored. We'd love to be sponsored though.
Someday.
And I'm back.
We're just gonna keep saying D&D Beyond until they sponsor us.
Well, if there's no other questions, then we would certainly hate to waste any further of your time. Thank you very much for your aid.
It is my pleasure. I am happy to assist those who would put themselves between us and such a terror.
And I am happy to put myself, I won't speak for others, on that path.
I'm more than happy.
Yeah, Beer, just don't die again, because I don't know if we're gonna be able to bring you back in time.
Don't say that in earshot of my dad, please.
I look
thought
around. Did I say that in earshot of his dad?
His dad is not in the room, no.
Okay.
Thought about it really, really hard, and I just didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't wanna
I'll be honest. There was a point where John wanted to do that, but he thought better of it.
I bow and turn to, or not turn, but back my way out of the hall.
Before you leave, she teaches you the teleportation sigil for Singorn.
Yay!
Sweet.
Yay.
Now we can
Bamfing all
come
over the
back
fucking
to
place.
Singorn.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're
You guys
just
are
like
epic
Nox
level
Machina.
characters at this point. You guys are going to be
Woo.
globetrotting quite a bit.
Sweet.
We're practically gods, guys.
No.
No.
No. No, no
World in
Noxfish. You have polymorph, no Noxfish. Fuck.
As you guys leave the chamber, the doors close behind you, and you can see Adamar is there waiting for you.
Well, that was enlightening, Father.
Conversations with her usually are.
She's.
I've found.
I can understand. She's a real treasure. Well, everyone, shall we? What shall we do next? Should we go visit Alora now, or?
Do you have to leave so soon? I mean, I understand the fate of the world is at stake and all, but never mind. I'm being. Of course, you have important things you must do.
Dad, I know that the time I spent here wasn't always the easiest, and I appreciate you taking me in all the same. But once this is all said and done, I would very much look forward to spending an extended period of time here.
He kind of. That. I would like that very much.
Let's
Do
roll.
they,
Aw.
do they give the weird awkward hug pat and then just walk away?
It's not really an elf thing to do.
I know.
Really?
Elves aren't-
Elves don't
elves-
hug?
Elves aren't big on huggers. They're like they're like on that brightest full moon of the Moonweaver. They're like crazy sex orgies and stuff. But like
Okay, so they're
But,
one
like-
extreme,
So
but they're
Eldar,
not the
got
other.
it? Got it?
But hugging is kind of like they're weird like that. You know?
So we'll have giant amount of coitus with many people, but we won't hug each other.
Yeah,
No.
they're weird. They're weird like that.
And that
It's
makes
all about
sense.
the moon.
It's all
They
96.
only do it because
Not
of the moon.
Research purposes.
The moon
When is
just
that?
drives them crazy.
It's all 96 back to back.
Like just goes with his.
Someone please clip that shit. Please clip that
That's
shit.
so on. That's so on par with Fight.
Calendar?
On brand. No, he didn't say that
Love
in
it.
character. Like that was just me talking. But anyway,
I wish that would have been so great.
anyway, he kind of looks at you and says, "Where do you think you'll be off to next?"
Alora of Iman has indicated
yes.
she may have some more information.
Yes. Intelligence gathering. Can never have enough.
Didn't we say we wanted to give her stuff back before we talked to her?
I mean, if the fates of the world's at stake, and she's not going to kill me outright, so.
Do
Instead of
that,
what
or we
Malik
could
said.
go to Kymel. Either
Well-
one
Yeah.
would make sense.
Mm.
I would like to pull out Oldar's map and just see where the key is located on the map.
Oh, the map that he was given, that he gave to you?
I want to make sure that it hasn't moved from Kymel.
Yeah, no, it does not appear to have moved. It does not look like it has moved from Kymel. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, it is in Kymel.
Out of
So-
character, the only thing that I'll say is that I can't take us to Kymel today, but I can take us to Amon, and it seems kind of silly to take a rest every time I burn a 7th level spell.
Mm.
You're
Yeah.
sacrificing XP so Biro can teleport more.
So we might as
Yeah.
well just go to Amon. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Fike, in that thing that they said about the dagger. They said it was a dwarf. What is Kotrick?
No, he's a dwarf. And it's not a dagger, it's a key.
Oh, I thought it was a
No,
key-shaped dagger.
His
Kratos'
literal key.
Oh,
Cut
Key.
your heart out with a spoon.
Why a spoon, cousin?
Because it's dull, you twit. It'll hurt more.
Inspiration for Bureau.
And that is
Bureau-
why Ren has katana. That's why they're blunt on the ends.
Bureau, are you okay? Did you just have a moment? Do we need to take 5 minutes?
Yeah, a little
Quoting from a
Deadpool
play
breaking
that I
the
saw.
fourth wall moment.
What
Anyway.
the god's plan is a key to defeat a Tarask, but
Yeah, I don't
I'm-
understand how a key's gonna help us.
I don't either.
Perhaps getting into, I don't know, something involving well, this is the Iron Authority we are speaking of, so they have many locks and many chains.
Yes, maybe we can unlock the Tarask's neck.
Well, there may
Possibly.
be
I believe
many
use that
challenges
to
in front of
remove
us.
its head.
What?
I believe your axe is the key to unlocking its head from its body.
I suspect
Yes.
that not every challenge we're going to face involves combat, so better to be broadly equipped.
Yes.
Actually, I have an idea. Bureau, if really stupid idea, but it might be something.
Hmm?
What if we took that key and we went? Well, we don't know what it does, really. I mean, like, it's a key, so it's got to unlock something, right? Like, I'm thinking, what if we go back to the prison and make a jailbreak?
How does that help beat the Tarask?
It throws the Iron Authority off, and I don't know. Just trying to think outside the box, man. I'm not the smartest person here.
If we do
I'm
that,
trying to help.
wander into the capital and set them free like that, then all we're probably going to do is get them all killed.
Yeah, just
I
frowning at
know.
that.
I
Yeah, we
know I'm
can't.
a bad person. I shouldn't have said that.
I think it's only done what we.
You're not a bad
You're
person.
not
I
a
think
bad
we should
person,
Get them out
Doc.
too.
It's
But
just
If we
Don't
defeat
set
the
them
Iron
free.
we
Authority
can't
and the
protect
Tarask,
all of them
then
in
we
the
can protect
face
them.
of the Iron Authority.
right.
yes, to free them, we must defeat the Iron Authority first.
Well, hopefully that key will help us somehow.
Yes.
But I still think it's good because we get to go get the last key for Pike.
So, Kymel,
Key.
Oh, the last 2 keys, my bad.
I
Technically,
mean,
three
just
keys.
speaking for myself, if you guys wanted to spend the rest of the day here and rest, I would be more than happy. I mean, you would not be putting me out, is all I'm saying. You're more than happy to stay with me.
if you don't mind, that might give us the bandwidth to get the easy tasks out of the way before we tackle the challenging ones.
I mean, I any way that I can help my son, who is going to be a hero of Exandria, I'm more than happy to oblige.
I think he's already a hero of Exandria. if I'm gonna be
Pretty
honest with you.
much.
Very
She'd been kind of like
impressive.
smiling at all their interactions, but at that it kind of like turned a little sad.
But
It's,
I mean, I understand if you need to go and do other things, but if you wanted to spend the night and recuperate before you leave in the morning, I am more than happy to house and feed all of you. Though I imagine that might take quite a bit with him, and he points to Vanya.
I think what, a foot or 2 smaller than Vanya?
Yeah,
Vanya's 8'1".
Wait, how tall are you, Vanya?
8'1".
Yeah, I'm 6'5". Yeah, I'm about a foot and a half, or 6'8",
Yeah.
something like that. But Knox will kind of look at Bureau, be like, I mean, it's completely up to everybody. I mean, do we want to go see Alora? And if we do, Do we want to get that out of the way and then go to Kymel?
I mean, I would like to bring her some good news. Maybe not all of the good news, but some good news when we come back. At least, like, hey, I know the world is in dire straits, but here's all your money back. That's just a personal flavor for me.
Well then,
That's fair.
that seems fair. Why don't we rest here today and take a picnic ride to Kymel tomorrow?
Picnic ride. That sounds good. What are we eating?
A what?
Sorry, what?
Yes, I don't
Is,
know.
is this
Look,
some
not
common
everything that
expression
comes
that
out
I...
is genius, okay?
Sometimes you're workshopping new material, guys. Come on.
It's all right,
Everything
Bureau.
you fucking gold. Why do you understand? You're the boss.
So for the sake of brevity, Adamar leads you guys back through the streets of Singorn to his abode, where he happily entertains you, feeds you, provides you with libation should you wish it, and tells you several embarrassing stories about Bureau's past. Uh,
Nox can't be the only one.
but also several rather impressive stories from Bureau's past. And does tend to, when you allow him to remind you of Tharn a bit and drone on about a lot of what is to you uninteresting history, a lot of genealogies and things like that. But eventually, you guys find yourselves to sleep for the night, unless there's any private conversations you would like to have inside of Adamar's home.
Vanya will go around and just check up on how everybody's doing post seeing your worst fear and all.
Mm.
Okay.
See if
Right,
people
What
are
does that
still
look like?
rattled. Basically, he'll just go over to everybody and just ask how they're doing. He has a specific request for Bureau, actually, but yeah, he's basically just gonna go around, make sure that everybody's doing okay. There was a lot of like pent up negative emotion, so he's gonna tell everybody to get it the fuck out.
Mhm. Does anyone give him an answer other than "Yeah, I'm doing all right," like the normal, like "I'm fine" kind of "Don't worry about it" answer?
Knox will be like, honestly, it was a pretty fucking terrifying, and I'm still getting over it.
All together, like in the same room.
Understandable.
Yeah, why not?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I mean,
I
my
mean, you
worst
guys literally
fears-
had a conversation yesterday about being more open and stuff with each other.
That
so-
is true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes. For
My,
me,
my-
no, go ahead, Knox.
Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
my worst fear is that I kill you guys. That's pretty fucked up to watch. So, yeah.
Yes. And that is
I'm
what
not
makes it a
alright.
fear.
Well, I don't think you're going to do that, Knox.
No, I don't think you will either.
And I think I've just learned for my part that when your lives are on the line, I better not hesitate.
I think the
Likewise.
scary part
You know
was
how, Biro, you know what the best way is to learn how to not hesitate? Constantly
How's that?
having to do things. Do you want me to
I
help you
think
learn
we-
how to not hesitate?
Sure.
Excellent. We'll start tomorrow morning. Be prepared.
Looking between the two. What?
I was hoping you were
I-
just going to be like, "I punch beer."
Be
I-
prepared. Be
yeah,
prepared.
yeah, honestly, Vanya,
Be prepared.
that whole conversation just reminded me of the Dragon Ball Z abridged when Piccolo is teaching Gohan how to fight and dodge.
Dodge!
Dodge! Just freaking dodge!
I mean, It may resemble that in practice.
Ah.
But anyway,
We'll
sorry.
see. No worries. Oh, Bureau, I have a request for you.
Sure.
People keep putting mind bullshit on me, like that asshole dragon and, well, you and Bosvier. And I'm getting really fucking sick of it.
Mm.
I need you to just use, whenever we're done for the day, I need you to just use all of your mind bullshit on me so I can practice fighting it off and get better at it.
That I can do.
That is a good idea.
Excellent. That said, if you ever put another spell on me like that without my permission, I will kill you.
Noted.
Vanya, can we please not kill the bard, the one that gets us to places?
Had they
Only
not
if he
died enough?
tries- Only if he tries
Hey.
to fuck with my head again, without my permission.
I'm sorry. Did somebody say something about
Oh, I didn't
dying
mean-
more than once?
No, we didn't say
wait.
anything.
I
Just a
didn't realize he
running
was still
joke,
at the
I
moment.
felt like I distinctly heard someone mention that my son died several times. I am getting old, and perhaps my ears are playing tricks on me. Anyway,
very
good
bad at
night
this.
again. I hope you all the accommodations are okay.
Good night, sir.
Thank you, sir. Have a great night.
The accommodations are okay. You are comfortable.
Yes, of
Yes,
course.
sir. Very good.
Very
Alright.
good, Dad.
I would offer you my bed, but I have like a lumbar thing that I need.
That does sound very nice, but I'll have to pass.
You're
I
the
prefer
elf.
the ground.
Anyway, good night. I will see you in the morning.
Good night.
Good night.
Right.
Your
And
father's
just,
quite nice.
right before we thank you. He's better than many of the elves, I think. But as we've seen, they're good people in their own way. And then before bed, I will attempt to cast Dominate Person on Vanya through my loot.
All right.
Make a is that a Wisdom saving throw
Yes.
with disadvantage?
Ooh.
He
Damn!
does.
You resist it.
Look at that.
All right. Are you holding back on me, Vero?
Literally not. That was like
That was one of my big ones, buddy.
Oh. Well, again.
Sure. I'll continue to blow all my spell slots
okay.
for the rest of the evening on charm spells.
Email, please.
Just make a series of 3 at disadvantage because he's using his loot, so that makes you have disadvantage on them.
That's more what I
So
expected.
the next 3 don't go as well for you.
Imperio.
Yeah,
He starts doing the
that's
Macarena.
more what I expected.
The first one he
Yeah.
plays is the Thunderstruck theme.
Yeah, the first one you're able to resist. The rest of the night, he's like a performative hypnosis guy and just makes you do all sorts of ridiculous and embarrassing things.
We all laugh at you, and it is a fun night, and we all get sloppy drunk watching you be stupid.
Stays sober. The whole
Um,
night. I need to be sharp.
What was that, Fike?
I'm gonna stay sober. I need to be sharp for tomorrow.
You're gonna lean a little closer to your mic, I think, or pull it in a little closer.
he said he's going
Spike
to
is
stay sober.
sober because I need to be sharp for tomorrow because here comes my art,
Reason.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've kind of been in your arc the whole time.
Little arcs.
Little arcs. Here's the
Little small
big.
arc. This is the big one. This is the big one, guys.
All right.
Uh-huh.
So unless there's anything else. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just one. Go ahead, Ren.
I was just gonna say, Ren before sleeping would probably take. I think Tharn gave her a holy symbol. She got a holy symbol for someone from the Wild Mother. But no, she doesn't have that
Tharn-
anymore. But because so
It got disintegrated.
she would have If she doesn't, would she have been able to get one from the temple when she
The
was in
temple?
Amon? Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So take that, kind of take some of the seeds that she got from there too, and kind of set it up as kind of like a little, not an altar, but like some place to pray and
Yeah, just like a
pray.
little meditation center.
Yeah, little place to meditate and pray and think on, especially all the information that she just got from the voice of memory, especially with regards to like that spell and that realization that this was something after her time, or at least trying to figure out if she could remember anything about what the stories were like beforehand and how it was taken care of before.
Mm-hmm.
Let's kind of meditate on that for a bit.
Make a history check. Yeah, magic wasn't really your
Yeah.
bag. I mean, in your time, magic was a lot more saturated throughout the society, so a lot of it was peripheral to you, almost kind of like kind of like technology today. Like it's almost like an oversight. Like everything's on the, like it's all there, but it's just on the periphery, and you can't really like that your your sibling was obviously more into that stuff and more studied on it and would often talk about it to you, but a lot of it would go over your head and stuff. But yeah, no, like this, in reflecting on it from the day, though, the sense that you're getting from it is that the people from this time understand it as something that came from that time, but based on your experiences, you get the sense that it's something that's even older than that may have been rediscovered or or improved upon or refined, maybe even like something that was a more primal magic that was maybe refined. That's kind of the sense that, I mean, with as little arcane experience as you have, that's the most that you're kind of relating it to, like maybe like a sword technique, right? Something that was changed and refined and honed and made more like refining a fighting style, right? Like it goes from being these haymakers, wide swinging arcs to a more precision type thing.
So yeah,
Maybe.
she's just kind of like focused on that, and then like does the meditation, like the eyebrow twitch type thing, and just feeling like she asked the wrong question when she had the chance to ask them. Yeah, just going through that and go through at least rituals that she knows of to pray properly, and then we'll go to sleep.
Okay.
Fight. One more thing I gotta do.
Yep.
I'm gonna take 2 of the keys off the loops that they're tied around my neck, and I'm gonna go bother Knox for the bag of holding, and I'm gonna put 2 of the keys. I'm gonna put Crux's key and Scorn's key in the bag of holding, and then I'm gonna hand Noxus a piece of paper that has written instructions on, in the untimely demise of Father Fike, how to open the box.
Okay. I can do this. Better not die, though.
Try not to, but in case things happen. I'm the only one with the knowledge of how this box can actually be opened, and now you have the instructions, and there's no one I trust more in this world than you, so.
I will do you proud if that is the case.
Phrasing.
Alrighty.
So
You
playing
guys
with his
find
heart.
you guys
So-
are find your. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Bureau.
Sorry, I know I've been doing all the talking, but just one last thing.
No, it's kind of we're in your like
Literally
certain
your
episodes-
house.
We're in your
We're
hometown.
literally your house. No, well, I'm saying like certain episodes, other people, like you guys all come get spotlighted at different times, and this just happens to be yours.
Cool. So since Fike asked me to reach out to Sanemo, I save one last sending,
Mhm.
and then right before bed, I'll just send to her, and I'll say,
What do you say?
Empress, hobgoblins have raised a Tarask to conquer the world. This is a dire situation. May we beg your aid?
You wait for a moment, and you get a response that says, "I don't know what a Tarask is, and my people don't do well on the surface. If you are desperate, then perhaps there may be something we can do if you can keep us out of direct sunlight."
Probably still have a fourth level. I'll just reply back and say thank you.
Okay. You don't get a response.
Now is the time for the drow to march on Singorn.
Shit.
Yeah, I was hesitant about that.
You literally, by the by, just the balls on Bureau, you literally just contacted Drow from Singorn.
Yeah.
I know. Like I was super hesitant about that, but
Big dick
Okay.
boy.
Does she know?
no, she doesn't know.
But Bureau would understand that.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
Bureau would get the significance of that.
like I thought about in,
Like
in-
the elves and the dwarves don't like each other, but like the Drow are like that's like
They
the
hate
elves and the dwarves are like Yankees and Red Sox. The elves and the Drow are like Israel and Palestine. It's like
yeah,
Wait.
I thought for a second about just asking permission or advice from
the
Oestra,
boys.
and
Oh,
I
really?
was like, no,
That
let me
would've been
better just not
interesting.
bring this up at all.
That would have been interesting. Anyway, you guys find yourselves to a long rest. It is restful. You are refreshed. You wake up in the morning. Ezra has prepared a breakfast for you. And you say your goodbyes with your father. And what would you like to do?
Mike, you ready for this?
High five.
I am. And then I'm going to stifle saying the word not. Sure, let us go to Kaimel.
Kaimel.
Guide to Kaimel.
Ask and ye shall receive, and I take us to Kaimel.
Take it back.
Alrighty.
Before we go to Kaimel, give me 1 second.
Okay.
Everybody gets 8 temporary hit points now. Oh wait,
Ooh.
well, it's 8.5.
Da-da-da.
It's 8.5. Does
Well,
it round up?
It rounds down.
Hmm.
Okay, so it's 8.
Okay.
Alrighty. I would say that you've been in Kaimel once before, probably.
Yep.
Right? So go ahead and roll a D100 for me.
Is that a good or a bad one?
Uh,
Oh, he
That's
laughed.
not a good
He
one.
laughed. It's bad. He laughed.
uh,
DM laughs. We're bad.
so
All of you take.
so let's see. Does he kill Valor and and Aura?
Thanks for those temporary hit points, Knox.
All
Glad
of you
to help.
take
We had them temporarily.
20 points of force damage.
There goes his yeah.
And roll another D100.
Amp hit points, I barely knew ye.
Yep.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh boy.
With the
Yeah,
All
first
of you
one.
take an additional.
Oh my
Right?
god.
So that works.
You each take an additional 14 points of force damage.
Wow. Okay.
Roll another d100.
Bureau, get
Bureau.
it
There
right!
we go.
There we go.
There we go. Fuck.
As you guys get shunted
Mm.
and blasted through the time-space continuum, and it takes its toll on your body. How many hit points did Aura and Valor have?
I don't know. What is a giant panthers? Let's see. Mm,
Hit points right now, dead.
like a regular panther is like
A regular
3d8.
panther is like 13 hit points, so we'll say that it was double that. They had 26 hit points.
So yeah, no.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Sorry, this damn spell is hard to get a hang of.
Oh my
Apparently.
gosh, Bureau,
Wow.
please. Please. Please, for the love of all that's holy, could you just stop hurting us?
As you guys all arrive and get plopped onto some sort of dirt / cobblestone street, you all
Manure! I hate manure!
just slumped over with that, like you just got the wind knocked out of you, punched in the stomach kind of feeling. You guys all kind of take a moment to recognize your surroundings before
It's you.
Welcome to Kyle.
before you arrive.
Bureau gave us a taste of what it'll be like in Kymel before we reach Kymel. Getting your ass beat.
In the gritty streets of Kymel.
No, it's pronounced Kaimel.
It's
No.
really not.
Definitely
Um,
not.
Keemel.
It's like the caramel versus caramel.
It's Gymel.
You're a dick.
As you arrive in Kymel, you look around and see the glitzy, gilded, and grimy streets of the city of Kymel. It stands as the grumbling ghost of a gold rush mining center, now become a haven for gamblers and criminals. A city of gold built atop a mountain of mud. Over 2 centuries before the discovery of rich gold veins within the Iron Seat Ridge sent a rush of eager folk to its base, Kymel began life as their base camp, and over the next century grew into a lively, booming city. Gold and minerals came out of Kymel, and creature comforts came in. Troops of players and musicians, merchants peddling food, liquor, and illicit goods arrived in force. Sex workers quickly followed, and those who would abuse them and enslave them were close behind. Unfortunately, the veins began to produce less and less, and in desperation, the mountain was ravaged by hungry interests, unwilling to accept the signs. Within 10 years, the mining industry in Kymel had died, poverty and hunger became commonplace. Since then, the populace has shifted to survival through farming, fishing within the Formir Basin, and trying to build interest as a trade center like Western, without much luck. The community had remained stagnant for decades when an entrepreneur from Ancorel named Palace Kristan opened a small casino called the Maiden's Wish. This gave the economy a vibrant boost. Interest in the city grew, and people returned to Kymel as it rebranded as a haven for luck and quick currency. Now expanded over the past 2 generations, Kymel has now recovered somewhat due to its growing presence of sanctioned games of luck, even going so far as to name Calisson, Calis's son, Jacques Tour Christan, heir to the Maiden's Wish, as the Margrave of Kymel. While larger-scale gambling is not illegal within Tal'Dorei, it is generally considered uncouth on a social level, and the council within Amon is happy to keep the bulk of that element away from the capital city. This type of industry does draw the attention of opportunists, however, and many competitive gambling joints, loan sharks, and criminal interests have sprung up. in recent years. Welcome to the gritty streets of Kymel.
Well,
We're
Fike,
gonna lose all of our money.
Prestidigitation spray, prestidigitation spray.
this is your party, Fike. How do you want to handle this?
I know he's in a seat of power, so I guess we're gonna head to. I guess wherever people would do business. Didn't you say you spent some time here, Bureau?
Was here once, undercover, as often was the case. This is the hell did I do here? This is where I had my own experience with the Brawlers League. I was under the code name Sam Jackson. So if you hear that name,
Renata, you don't know what the Brawlers League is.
Yeah.
Sam Jackson.
The what?
That's a terrible name for a half elf.
It really is.
My name is Gnomish, so I guess let's go to a sense of political interest so we can parlay.
As we're walking, just wait. What is a Brawlers League?
Underground Fight Club. We don't talk about it.
That's the first rule.
What you just did.
I think we've established that I've got my faults, Knox. Thanks for pointing that out.
Now I feel like the asshole.
I mean, Bureau, if you wanted to, I would allow you to make a roll to see if you can remember, like, the underground of the city, like the big players, or like who's important, who, like, what the major players of the city are, at least from the last time you were here.
Sure. Would that be like a history check?
Just a general intelligence check.
Okay.
Or history, if you're proficient, I'll say.
Yes, I am proficient, so that would be a 16.
16? Okay. Last you were here, there were 3 major guilds in the city. There was obviously the clasp had a presence here. Under Spiraling Bromgus, a dwarven male who was particularly greedy. They tended to run. They had a lot of legitimate businesses, a lot of the competing gambling establishments to the Maiden's Wish. They also ran a lot of the sex work in the city, as well as they a lot of intrigue stuff, getting dirt on people. They had obviously a little thieves guild, any professional jobs that needed to be done as far as like breaking into, and you could hire them. Like one casino oftentimes would hire them to steal from another casino, and competitive things like that. They ran a lot more of the less harmful vice like institutions here, loan sharking, things like that. The Myriad has the newer presence here. They came in around the same time, as far as you're aware. They came in around the same time as Karik Goldgrip came into the city. Their leader is Lustrin Zeth, a human male, and what's it called? Fabric merchant from Ankarel. And then there's the Underground, which is run by an entity known as BB.
BB?
underground
BB.
BB. Yeah, like the
I think
letters
of Death
B.
Stranding.
Like the letters BB.
God.
They are known as the underground because they handle a lot of the smuggling and other things, as they tend to remain, for the most part, in the sewers of the city, as they made up almost entirely of goblins and other undesirable creatures. They are headed by a duo which fancies itself an individual, known as BB, which is a female goblin that rides around on an ogre. And they are with each other so much that they kind of consider themselves one entity.
Hmm.
That's funny.
And based on the
Nice.
information that that Strats gave you, Fike, you know that Karik kind of has his. They all kind of pay. They all kind of pay homage to Karik to allow them to do business in the city, and they like pay him. They like pay him protection. Like normally they would run protection rackets and stuff, but essentially it sounds like Karik has got them paying protection to him, and they also, if he needs it, will come to his aid. Um, you don't know how they feel about that, but he wasn't able to get you that information. But
Pretty mobbed up. So let us do what we do best and destroy the mob.
Sounds good to me.
Excellent.
What is a mob?
The
Crime.
criminal syndicates.
Ah, all right. Very well.
Shall we? Where shall we start? And I share all that information that I'm aware of.
yeah,
Um,
I figured.
I think we'll find him making the rounds, making collections, pretty easily. From what Strats told me, he kind of travels in a mob of people for around him for protection. He is unable to take care of himself, obviously. So I think we just start walking around and trying to find where. Once we see someone getting shaken upside down with the pockets turned out, I guarantee that's where he'll be.
Isn't he a dwarf? How's he gonna shake anybody upside down? He's too short for it.
He's someone like you to shake his pockets up for him while he scrounges on the ground and get gold, like this sniveling rat.
Wow,
That he is.
what a bitch.
I agree with you.
Can't even do his own shaking.
I'm just gonna start heading into the deeper into the city, and I'm just gonna start looking around.
Yeah, you guys kind of
see if,
appeared in an alleyway, so you didn't like cause like a scene, kind of like you did in Byrodin.
Yeah, pretty good idea.
But you kind of emerge out into this busy street center that you can see urchins running this way and that. There are, awnings and clothes hangers that are running along the narrow streetways. Different carts and stalls set up. People barking out their wares. There's like every every few yards you can see another person set up with like a 3-card Monte or some other sort of street gambling dice game going on. There is, as you look around, you see a lot of humans. It seems like the majority of people here are human, but there's a pretty decent amount of dwarven folk here, as well as tieflings, half orcs, half elves, some of the smaller races, halflings and gnomes moving around, and straight like oddly like there are goblins that are just walking freely in the street, um, as well as wow, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. Like the hyena guys.
Knowles.
Knowles. Yeah, sorry, Knowles. And full-blooded orcs just kind of walking right down the street. A lot of them are kind of, to steal your guys' term, mobbed up. They're rolling deep. They're not like usually walking around as individuals, and people tend to give them a wide berth. But they seem to walk through the city without having to like in a mon they'd probably be like chased out of the city with torches and pitchforks. But here they seem to be.
A little surprised by goblins. Knowles not so much after Turst, but
Well, those gnolls are definitely the exception to the
yeah,
rule.
yeah. Just not as surprised by it.
Yeah.
Fike's gonna take a big breath of air and just go, the city did not
Smells like
change.
piss.
Yeah, it's you
Don't
couldn't
say
get-
it smells like home.
It doesn't.
Wait.
My home doesn't smell at all like this, but this is exactly how I left it. Maybe slightly worse.
Wait, you've been here, Fike?
Yeah, I walked all the way from Amon to Whitestone when we first met. I've been here.
Oh. Oh, yeah, that's right. You had to get the Whitestone somehow. I keep forgetting that we can teleport now, and I forgot what it's like to walk places.
Right. I'm gonna start like either looking for a place of interest or like kind of like peeking into shops and seeing if anyone's getting shooken down at that moment in time.
Make an investigation check.
Shooken down.
Shaken down.
Make a shaken
Shooken
down.
down. Make a shooken down check. I am shooketh.
16, not bad. As you kind of go, what?
Sorry, as got in chat, can teleport, such a strong word after 2 fails.
Accurate.
I would like to give DM inspiration to the chat, please.
Yes.
Thanks, Walston.
The chat gets DM inspiration,
Way to go, chat. You can give it to anybody.
and they can hand it out to whomever they like.
Ooh!
So you guys kind of start walking block by block, poking your head in on different things. You know, the criminals in this town are professionals, and you don't really see a lot of people getting shaken down. But eventually, after about an hour of kind of like walking through the city, you do hear from one of the tavern / smaller gambling establishments. You hear some lively music coming from it, particularly some sort of stringed instrument and a style of music that is familiar to you
Motherfucker.
all. A very flamenco-y Spanish guitar. And as you poke your head in, you look up on the stage and see a familiar dwarf as Strat's Stone Song is up on the stage, and he begins as the music pauses. He begins to go into a story and says, "Now let me tell you all about the heroes who saved my life from an ancient and terrifying blue dragon along the coasts of Taldore.
Oh boy.
A noble and heroic dragonborn known as Noxus. These are the defenders of the East.
Oh shit.
They come to me, charging in on spectral dragon wings, slinging magic this way and that. This azure skin, this emerald scaled dragonborn, charging into the breach with his radiant spear. Another wielding 2 exotic blades from Taldore's past. A whirling dervish known as Renata, crimson-haired, and a singer and teller of tales himself, and a man who would can make his sword sing with the talent he wields it. Biero the Blade, as well as a holy paladin in service to the Everlight herself, a man known only as Father Fike, charging into the breach, taking blasts of lightning breath, and fighting back against the dragon, eventually freeing me and resurrecting me from death itself. These heroes walk among us. And a huge cheer goes as he starts going into another guitar solo. A cheer goes up to the crowd through the crowd. What would you like to do?
You're too kind, Strats.
I don't have the silence spell or power would kill. Can chat give me that, please?
Yeah, Ren just looks to Bureau super awkwardly, and he forgot a
is out
couple
the window.
people.
As Noxus yells out, he turns and sees all of you and says,
Jesus Christ.
"And my friends, here they are!" And he-
Oh no!
as he
Nox kinda
gestures
smiles
towards
and
the
then
entire bar/tavern/casino, the games stop and they all turn to look at you in the entranceway.
Nox has
Alright.
a smile on his face, and then he kind of looks at everybody who's looking at him like, "What the fuck did you just do?" And it's like, "Oh, was I not supposed to do that?"
Uh,
I'm just
Are you
gonna.
sure this is you guys? It sounds way too coordinated to be you.
Yeah, he
Oh,
goes on
God.
in the story a little bit more than I did, very much playing up, like saying things that you guys didn't really do, but sound much more heroic than you actually were.
like,
And, much more, like he really plays it up, like
Like-
really.
like I
puts
could
the
understand him leaving out Shango, but not Tharn. With his ridiculousness, how he killed that thing.
He does mention them. I just didn't want to.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I'm just kind of doing who's here. But
Mhm.
I'm gonna like ham it up a little bit. I'm like, yes, we are all amazing and powerful. I say something that's way cooler than that, but and I'm gonna like make my way to the stage now to reconvene with my old friend, and I'm gonna run to the stage and grab Stretch. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
And that's where we'll pick things up next week.
Wait,
Well,
this early?
That's a good spot to end it.
Yeah, what
you know?
else are
Sometimes
you-
we a
yeah.
little bit late, sometimes we,
know.
you know.
Yeah. I know, right, Valston?
Damn it!
Oh,
It was good
that was
though.
awesome.
That was great.
I'm amazed he's singing our praises like that.
Yeah, after what
Or you
happened.
guys' praises.
Like, yeah, let me just
I was
reconvene with
just
this.
asking,
Runs up
isn't
to
this
him.
the guy who Shango murdered?
I was gonna say.
Yes, this is the one Shango murdered.
The worst.
I'm kind of glad he
The
left
worst
that part out.
simpaticos.
Jesus.
Oh my
Alright.
I'm
fucking
amazed
god.
he's singing your praises after that.
Yeah, really.
Well, I mean, you guys were pretty cool to him, and afterwards, and you did, bring him back to life and everything, and
Eventually, yeah.
gave him a decent amount of coin, and
Gave him hush money.
gave him much money, and
Him to leave. I'm so upset. I told him to leave.
Wow.
Really? You think this is his kind of town? You really think he was doing great here? You really think he was just gonna fuck off? You
This
didn't tell
is-
him exactly what was happening. He was just like, yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
That's true.
Anyway, he
Well,
doesn't know what Nebraska is, and you didn't tell him. But anyway,
that's true.
yeah, we will pick things up next week with at this moment where you're kind of like grabbing Strats by the lapels. Actually,
what the
here,
fuck, man? What the fuck?
we can show the chat Strats.
Oh, Strat. Oh, wait. Let me. 1 second. I gotta switch to map view. There's Strats.
There's
That's
Strat.
Strats. Hey. Oh,
Creation for-
Strats.
Spell Bureau uses.
Hmm?
What?
Chat said, save the inspiration for the next teleport spell Bureau uses.
Yeah. It's only fitting.
And so shall it be, as chat decrees.
Yay.
Chat,
Thanks, Falston.
Diana of Alexandria.
And he does not refer to you as the Guardians of the East, but as the Guardians of Taldore.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh
shit.
no!
Oh no!
It's way too much pressure.
Oh boy.
Really
The
not like
anxiety. I feel the anxiety already.
Damn it!
We haven't killed the Tarask yet.
Fuck.
Calm yourself.
he doesn't know about the Tarask.
No, it doesn't. That's true.
Neither does most of the countries. Neither does most of the people in Taldore.
Because we don't want to start a fucking intense amount of like rioting going
Don't start
on,
panic. Don't start
panicking,
panic.
like
It'll be
almost happened in that one town. Damn.
All right.
It was fun.
Holy shit!
That's you. Should have left you dead in the fucking water, you bitch.
Stay up on your mic, Fike. It's so hard to hear you sometimes.
Should have left him in the fucking cave.
Oh, come
Guardians
on.
of the multiverse.
Good work for you.
Oh, fuck.
Anyway, we'll pick things back up
Well.
next week there. Who would like their experience points for the
Yes,
evening?
please.
Yes, good.
Thank you.
Yes, good. Biero and Vanya, you each got 27. Nox, Renata, and Fike, you each got 26.
Okay.
We have a vote.
Oh, it's time for the vote.
It's time to duel.
So yes, chat, for you those of you who don't
I
know,
vote.
when Fike levels up, we get to choose as a group vote whether he takes a level in Rogue or a level in Paladin based on how he has acted since the last level up.
I vote Paladin.
We're gonna vote Paladin.
Yeah, I'm going Paladin.
I'm going Pally. He's been doing a lot of Paladin stuff.
Yeah. Aside from like when he was a huge ass, but that was under the effect of a mana spell, mana. So, and also he was still very paladin-y. And he rescued Biero from it.
Yep.
Well, here's the thing. You can still be a good rogue, and you can still be a dick paladin.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So this
I
makes
try
you-
and go and see like what abilities he's using a lot, and at the moment, like Pally outweighs the rogue.
What level paladin does this make you?
20th.
Because I know a level in Rogue where I shouldn't have. Because I know the last thing I got was evasion, and then, it's been very paladin heavy since then. So I think I'm 9, but let me double check.
Ooh, very exciting.
Yeah, you're level
Mm.
16 altogether. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're level 8 paladin now. Right?
I think 9. I might have automatically just put my level in Rogue by accident because that's my default.
Okay, so you're a level 7 rogue then?
Yeah, 7 Rogue and Paladin. I just gotta double check.
And 9 paladin?
Yeah, 7, 9.
Ah. So, looks like your ability score improvement goes up, right? Or no, that's just
Third level Paladin spells.
third level paladin spells.
Nice.
slots.
Including stuff like Revivify.
Ooh,
I'm not the only one anymore.
look at that.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one who can bring people back from the dead. This is gonna be so
we don't need
great.
Would you like to roll for hit points?
Ah, do the thing.
Julie, do the thing. Ooh, 10. Let's go.
Nice.
Big hitter.
Didn't you take the tough feat as well?
Yeah.
So that's
10
actually
plus 2.
12 hit points.
Ooh, Nice.
Now Fike is gonna have.
It's
as
also
much
should
hit
be a
points as me.
D10, not a D8.
Yeah. Man's
Oh.
right.
Yeah, you rolled a D8.
Reroll.
There
better.
it is.
Hey.
So that's actually 14 hit points. that you got.
Nice. So Fike, what do you have all together now since you're taking tough? Or did you take tough previously?
He took tough previously.
Um,
At level when he was level 8 paladin.
Yeah.
So he's at 141 total now.
yeah,
Ooh.
you finally surpassed me.
Wait, you're at 141. Oh, you're like
Yeah,
2 under
no,
Ren.
I'm
Really?
I'm at 138.
I went
So
from
you finally surpassed me.
went from by far the weakest character that we had, hit points wise, all the way up to the top.
Yeah, for the longest time, the sorcerer had more hit points than you. How does that work out?
Because he had really high con.
He did.
I rolled
Yeah, you actually
goody.
did.
I haven't boosted my con since we started this at all. It's
Yeah,
always
I
been
had
three.
I had a +1 to my con for the longest time until I got that.
That amulet.
That's
Yeah,
great.
I'm dying with that amulet. There's
Well-
no way I'm taking it off
That's good.
voluntarily.
Yes, please don't. Well, with that done, I'm going to end the stream. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We will be back
Thanks.
next week on Wednesday. My next stream is tomorrow afternoon through the evening, starting around 4:30 with some Twitch sings. So I'll be singing. And let me find somebody to send y'all to in the meanwhile. I think my friend...
Come back next week.
Yes, come back
The
next week,
crazy
please.
Streets of Kymel, where we get into it with Strats and the legend of the heroes, the guardians of Tal'Dorei that he has been spreading through Kymel.
Yes, please.
As they
Be
try
here at
to,
6:30 and
to
6:45.
secretly and under the radar go into the city and go after.
Totally
We're not good at that.
unaware.
So yes,
We're
No,
I will
we're,
send...
we're not stealthy.
Yeah,
Why are
no.
all hard, shitty spies. Can you
Yeah.
explain this?
Yeah, we're
Bureau,
terrible.
Strats.
Well, no. Bureau is a good spy. Strats is terrible.
Nice.
Strats is not a spy.
Barrow's like a James Bond kind of spy. Like
He's
he,
out
like,
there.
walks into the room.
Wildly
Like-
incompetent.
Everyone
No,
knows.
not wildly incompetent, but just like doesn't, is kind of walks in, doesn't will tell you his name,
Yeah.
like his actual name, no problem, and like
Yeah.
just like it's more of a his status allows him to gain
Mhm.
access to certain places
Yeah.
that the average person would have to like break into.
Exactly. So
that's,
I'm going to send y'all chat to my friend Kaklik, who is a fellow social justice bard who is playing Twitch Sings right now in setup for tomorrow. And we will see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye!
Bye.
Badass, asexual, polyhedral dice order. I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice order. I'm proud to be. In whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice order. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice order. And my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler,